the more you pound them, the more they feel it, and the tireder they get, and all of a sudden the legs start to get fatigued. So to me, smart physical play on the better players of the Vancouver Canucks will help the Oilers as this series moves on, and it will force the Vancouver Canucks role players into much bigger positions that they have to come in and try to win hockey games for them as well. And I do believe the Oilers have a deeper hockey club.
Dwayne Rolison spoke on Oilers Now today about the importance of getting mental rest. It wasn't physical rest, just getting a little bit of break. Take me through Edmonton having a week off in between games.
It's huge because when you get tired, it's not your legs that go, and it's not your hands that go, it's your brain. And that's when you see the brain cramps on the ice, where you make a bad play. It's not because he physically is fatigued, it's because mentally he's fatigued. So I think just having that long stretch where you can get away from the rink for a little bit, and you get away from the pressure, and you're not going every game, especially when they're close games, it just wears on you. So I think the Oilers might not be on top form in period one, but they certainly will be in games 4, 5, 6, and 7 because they had this week off.
That's our Inside the Game analyst, Rob Brown. And that wraps up Rogers Game Night. It's an 8:20 puck drop Edmonton time. Jack Michaels will have the call on Fort Dealers NHL Hockey. Round 2, Game 1 action from Rogers Arena when we return on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
We are live at Rogers Arena, deafening at 19,000 plus for Game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal. It's Jack Michaels, it's Bob Stauffer with a live play-by-play of Game 1 of this best of 7 from Rogers Arena. And our Coventry home starting lineups on deck, first ringside with our national anthem.
Oh, Canada. True patriot love in all of us command.
It's exclusive NHL broadcast.
Here he shoots and scores. Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
From our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, this is Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal, and now, as promised, your Coventry home starting lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. Coventry, the official build of the Oilers. Flexibility within reach, get back in the game with customizable designs from Coventry. It's Ekholm and Bouchard on defense. Up front, Connor McDavid will center Zach Hyman, and Matthias Janmark moved up in the lineup with the injury to Adam Henrique late in Game 5 clincher over LA. Stuart Skinner in the pipes. And with that, we're ready for the drop of the puck. JT Miller for the Vancouver Canucks, centering Pius Suter and Brock Besser. Myers and Soucy defensively, and 23-year-old rookie Artur Shelovs in net. Underway, Miller wins the opening face-off, and we are set for Game 1. Vancouver operating right to left in the blue and green, outlined in white, and now McDavid held, still battling. No penalties were called. Rick Tocchet will like that, engaged with Brock Besser. And now you've got Tyler Myers off an Oiler dump-in, nearly turning it over. But McDavid centering pass intended for Janmark, broken up. Pius Suter advances to Brock Besser, and then the lead pass out of reach of Carson Soucy. Picked up by Matthias Ekholm. Edmonton in the visiting white uniforms with orange and blue trim, and now too many men whistled against Vancouver. The Canucks were penalized shorthanded 22 times in 6 games in the Nashville series, and 40 seconds in, they take a too many men on the ice call, and Edmonton's vaunted power play, 9 for 20 against LA, will go to work against a Vancouver penalty kill that had to be good and was in its 6-game vanquishing of Nashville, turning aside 20 of the 22 Nashville power plays. But Rick Tocchet will not be happy with that.
He got away with one. He got away with one, Miller, right away. But yeah, that's just a tough sequence there. Canucks Oilers need to capitalize. They had power play chances early in both games here, Jack, and the Canucks killed them and gained some momentum.
Face-off won by Elias Lindholm, and it's ripped down the left-hand side by Ian Cole. Out there with Zadorov on the penalty kill. The Oilers ATCO power play unit, of course, Draisaitl, the on-rushing McDavid left to right, with Bouchard, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman rounding out the quintet. Bouchard tried to tuck it down low. It's stolen and cleared by Ian Cole, much to the delight of the 19,000 crammed into Vancouver's Rogers Arena. Bouchard to Leon Draisaitl, and now onward is McDavid. In from the left-hand side, checked off the puck by Cole. Zadorov did not get it out, a mistake. And Bouchard will get it back from Nugent Hopkins, walk the line, high slot. Nugent Hopkins left circle, slides to McDavid, hard to the net, in front. Dug out, but not cleared by Joshua. 2 failed clearing attempts. And still a healthy minute left on this power play. But a steal by Cole, a great read. He breaks loose with Di Giuseppe. Ian Cole, shot deflected into a crowd and taken by Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins up the right-hand side. It's Leon Draisaitl churning legs to the net with a shot and a save made by Shelovs. Rebound held in by Bouchard at the point. Draisaitl, beautiful backhand dish. McDavid, right face-off dot, loading up. Now it's Nugent Hopkins coming off the goal line to McDavid. The interior. Draisaitl 5 goals, 10 points in the first round. Nugent Hopkins cross ice, one-timer score, and Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead. It's Zach Hyman with a power play goal at 2:11.
Well, they can do that to you. That's the league's best power play over the last 5 seasons. And we talked about it, the 2 regular season games here in Vancouver, the Canucks got early kills. That time, the Oilers with a different look. Look where Nugent Hopkins was down low to the left of the goal instead of on the right hash, and he spins off of coming in front of the net and through a seam, backdoors one to Zach Hyman. And the Oilers have a 1-0 lead.
Bob, that is the first time in this postseason that Connor McDavid has not figured in a power play goal. He had points on all 9 ATCO Energy power play goals prior to that one. Hyman is 8th from Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent Hopkins. And for Hyman, that ties him for the league lead with the 8 goals in the playoffs. He was the first since Yari Curry in 1987 to start a playoff campaign with 7 in the first 5. Now he's got 8 in 5 and 2 minutes. And the too many men on the ice penalty comes back to haunt Vancouver. The Oilers' third line dumps it into the zone. Philip Hronek up the left-hand side for Ilya Mikheyev. These were 2 of the 3 top teams when it comes to point-producing defensemen. Hronek and Hughes by themselves with more than 140 points. Sent in from the left-hand side. Soucy checked by Connor Brown, his first playoff appearance. Up the right-hand side, Phil DiGiuseppe off a clearing pass. He'll take it deep into the offensive zone against Derek Ryan, who checks him against the end boards. The Oilers look to locate the puck. Brown had it stripped, but Kulak frees it up for Vinny Desharnais. 1-0 Edmonton. Power play goal at 2:11, and that power play is now 10 for 21 in the postseason. Brown forechecking against Tyler Myers. Forced it loose. DiGiuseppe worked it up the glass. Myers looking to clear. Draisaitl to knock it down, and JT Miller eventually forces it back through center ice. Oilers lost the 2 regular season games in this building by a combined 14-3. Big hit landed by Zadorov on Evander Kane, and they trade a couple of blows coming out of that check. Pius Suter left wing for the Canucks. Meanwhile, his initial shot stuffed, and then a midair swipe turned aside by Stuart Skinner. Besser's on the rebound right circle. Gives it up for Suter, who scored the game winner in Game 6 on Friday night to beat Nashville 1-0. Shilov's had a 28-save shutout, and a lead pass up the left-hand side will not be whistled for icing as Ian Cole tracks it down for Vancouver. Edmonton's able to roll over the lines and get Janmark, McDavid, and Hyman back out there. Dakota Joshua, what a year he's had, but he turns it over at the blue line, and McDavid's away. 3-on-2, left circle, ridge shot. Save made by Shilovs. Rebound Hyman on his backhand, and that might have gotten a piece of Shilovs on its way by. Pretty hard release. Nurse put it behind the net. Janmark had it stolen away by Quinn Hughes, and it's pumped up the left-hand side. Came back to Hughes as the Oilers choked it off, and now Hronek trying to free himself for McDavid does, and it's a breakaway for Connor Garland. In on Skinner, backhanded denied. Stuart Skinner with a mammoth save to start the series, and then a big forecheck by Lindholm. He landed a hard check down low on Zach Hyman, who shrugs it off. Darnell Nurse up through center, and he'll dump it in. Stuart Skinner, the ideal start for him in this series. 5 minutes in.
2 great saves from Skinner so far.
Backhanded ahead. Hoglander won't get it. Vinny Desharnais will up the right-hand side. Hoglander scored 24 goals during the regular season, but has just 2 in his last 17 games. Kulak down low for Edmonton. Tried to center, and he was blasted by Carson Soucy. Ilya Mikheyev is away for the Vancouver Canucks. Drop pass. Feathered back in front. Mikheyev can't get there, and it's swatted out of danger by Vinny Desharnais. Elias Pettersson behind the net. Mikheyev on his backhand, protecting the puck. Pettersson mired in a slump. Out to the point. Shot Cole, missed badly. Rebound kicked off the glass to Zadorov. Down low left corner for Pettersson. Centering pass. Comes out to Cole. High slot. Down low. Fed in front. Pettersson couldn't find it. Cole smashed it toward the net, and it was blocked by Corey Perry, who didn't have his stick momentarily. He's got it now as Pettersson will chip it softly to the onrushing Phil DiGiuseppe. He's taken down in the corner. Dylan Holloway gives way to Ryan McLeod, and it's flashed through the middle of the ice. Dylan Holloway's dad for 2 games, a Vancouver Canuck, drafted by the team in 1981.
Canucks have come out hitting, Jack.
But they're down 1-0. Power play goal, Zach Hyman. Fogle, drop pass for Connor Brown from center ice. He'll bring it into the offensive zone. It's Fogle. Stumbles to one knee, then threw it around the board. Shot by Bouchard. That was blocked by DiGiuseppe. Played back down low. Fogle unable to contain. Teddy Bluger tried to shovel it up the right-hand side. He won a cup with Vegas last year. Oilers went out in round 2 last year in 6 games to the eventual Stanley Cup champions. Here's Bouchard. Center of the ice, Draisaitl. Hard wrist shot. Spilled by Shilovs. Rebound Tapped away from Bouchard, but held in by Ekholm. And now a chance for Foegele to feed Draisaitl. Hard to the net on his backhand. Circles behind. Foegele left circle. Shadowed by Hronek, frees himself up, and then takes a shot that's rocketed out of play on a deflection with 12:47 to go in the first period. The Oilers have outshot the Canucks 4-1 and lead the game on a power play goal by Zach Hyman, his 8th from Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. We're back with more live first period play-by-play in just a moment. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top-shelf finishes at no additional cost, because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
1-0 Edmonton, a too many men on the ice call against the Vancouver Canucks, who closed out their series with Nashville on Friday. Despite being on the short end of the power plays, 22-13 in that series. Edmonton had a 20-12 edge in power plays against Los Angeles. The Oilers got one early and converted. Hyman from Draisaitl and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at 2:11. And that's our score. 1-0 Edmonton, 12:47 to go first period. Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, the sellout crowd in Vancouver. Just a beautiful afternoon. Temperature plus 20 and not a cloud in the sky. Inside, the atmosphere raucous with the white towels waving. Face-off won by Draisaitl, who then was set up by Ceci and saw his shot deflected by Zadorov, and it floated out of play with 12:39 to go in the first. Edmonton, of course, polished off Los Angeles last Wednesday, so the Oilers have been off a week. They did take Sunday off as well as Thursday. They beat the Kings 4-3 on home ice to close out that series in 5.
One area of Vancouver upgraded face-offs, getting Lindholm. It's a real effective right shot face-off, man.
And like Nugent-Hopkins, a two-way guy.
Yeah.
Although his offense well off what it had been in his first couple years in Calgary. Up the right-hand side, Connor Garland.
He's getting paid in free agency, though. You know that.
He'll send it in deep. Will Garland. He was foiled on the breakaway by Stuart Skinner after the power play goal scored by Hyman. And that sequencing has given Edmonton an early edge. Garland, short side pass, misfired, intended for Joshua. Evander Kane did not get it out, but Draisaitl makes certain of it with a backhand feed to Ceci, and eventually touched onward by Nugent-Hopkins, held by Shilov. Shilov's story, as Kane jostled in front of the net and eats a couple from Zadorov and fires back a left jab of his own. They're going to be separated by the linesmen Kyle Murchison and Brandon Gulritz. Referees are Steve Kazari and Kyle Raymond. But Bob, as you know, Shilov's really was an unknown. He got a smattering of action with Vancouver the last couple seasons. But then at the World Championships, he led Latvia in his home country to a bronze medal. First time ever. And he was named the tournament MVP, was outstanding, had another decent campaign in the American League.
Do you remember him, though, from the rookie tournament at all? I don't really remember him.
8-3-1 in the regular season for the Canucks. An identical save percentage for his NHL career as his AHL career, .908. Played down in Abbotsford for much of the year, but Demko had a knee injury in early March that kind of changed the way Vancouver approached the latter third of the regular season. And the Canucks, as Bob would say, got into shot suppression. Was able to scrape out just enough wins to get over the finish line and win the division title. Off the draw, here's Garland. Backhander left wing. Got a decent shot away, and Skinner makes the save with no rebound. No one in front. 11:54 to go in the first. 1-0 Edmonton.
So Edmonton dropped off in the face-offs in games 4 and 5 against the LA Kings. The Oilers were a good face-off team under Chris Knobloch. They're in the league at 54%. Vancouver finished the season 8th overall at 52.1, but they improved once they got Lindholm, and they won a bunch of draws here.
They might have won a bunch of draws, but their offense dried up. They were shooting at an extremely high percentage in the first half of the season. And as Bob told you after the All-Star break, 24th in the league in goals scored. But they tightened up defensively and, again, held off Edmonton and finished 5 points ahead of the Oilers, who now have the puck in the offensive zone. McDavid enters. With Janmark behind the net, he'll dish off to Zach Hyman, right corner. Bouchard and Ekholm are the D pairing. Susie tracking Hyman. Drop to Bouchard, and now coming off the right outboards is Janmark with a pass to McDavid. He drops to Ekholm. A shot and a save made by Shelox. Rebound, Bouchard. Put it back behind the net for Hyman, who scored the power play goal that has given Edmonton this early first period lead. McDavid to Hyman, left corner. Shadowed by Tyler Myers. Swooping and dishing off to Ekholm. He was chopped down by Myers, who threw an extra shot at him. Ekholm was able to keep it alive for Connor McDavid. Cross-ice pass. Weak shot sent wide by Dylan Holloway. Didn't get all he wanted on that. And then Susie put it off the glass and out of play. And Pius Suter trying to be baited into a penalty by Evan Bouchard. He's not taking that bait. 10:53 to go in the first period. If he hits him a little higher than the breastplate, he's probably taking a roughing penalty. But Suter, to his credit, did not jab Bouchard in the face.
Well, obviously the Canucks, part of what their modus operandi in this series is to be physical in Edmonton and hard on their best players. That's not a surprise. We've already seen it. They've been out there banging out all game. And they've a couple incidents already where some of their smaller players have tried to get in the face of Edmonton players.
Derek Ryan against Elias Pettersson. 9 minutes gone by first period. Vancouver has just one shot on Stuart Skinner, and it was the breakaway effort by Connor Garland. I don't think they gave him credit for that midair swipe.
Made a great save there.
I thought that was on net. Eventually, the off-ice officials might straighten that out, but off the draw, Niels Höglander manages a clear to center. Connor Brown turns and locates Warren Foegele at center ice. Oilers left to right. Foegele stymied as he hit the Vancouver line. It's kicked back to Quinn Hughes by Philip Roenick. Spent several years in Detroit, came to the Canucks, and immediately responded with 48 points.
Oilers, McLeod on the ice, Jack. He needs to get going. Give Edmonton a little bit more juice offensively.
A dump in by Vancouver, handled by Brett Kulak behind the Oiler net. Played his junior hockey here for the Vancouver Giants. Sent in from the right-hand side. Holloway in on the forecheck. Cleared to Teddy Bluger for Vancouver, and then rink wide to Ian Cole. He'll take it over the line. Play is onside, right to left. Sends it around the boards for Bluger. Halfway through this first period, Edmonton leads 1-0. Power play goal by Hyman, set up by Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins. Cleared by Cody Ceci up the right-hand boards, and Zadorov will track it down for Vancouver. No stranger to Edmonton in the playoffs. He was on the Calgary team that fell in 5 games in the Battle of Alberta 2 years ago. This series and that series, the only Canadian series, the all-Canadian series beyond the first round since 2002. Dump in by the Canucks. Ceci sent it up the left-hand side. Myers tracks it down, laid it off the boards, taken by Bouchard at center ice for Edmonton. Flashed it across to Draisaitl. Cutting back inside is Bouchard. He'll take it over the line. Put it down low right corner for Evander Kane. Himself a Vancouver Giant. And now Nugent Hopkins engaged. Freed up by Tyler Myers and left for Carson Soucy. Up the left-hand side, you've got Garland. He's slippery. Tried to get around Bouchard, but he squeezed him tight on the half wall, forced the puck free, and Draisaitl with a clearing pass to Bouchard, and now Ekholm at center ice. Missed to Vander Kane, who got himself a little stationary. Pass too far, and Quinn Hughes took a hard check from Kane. That's the kind of finishing hit that Edmonton would love to get on Vancouver's Norris Trophy finalist often in this series. Nugent Hopkins will reset for Edmonton in the defensive zone. Bouchard pumped it up the right-hand boards, and now McDavid tried to cut inside, relieved of the puck. Brock Besser off to Hughes. Left wing for JT Miller. In over the line. Miller cross ice. Vancouver still with just the one shot. Miller gives it up. Shot, and that was blocked away against Philip Roenick by Stuart Skinner. Zadorov racing onto the ice, able to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Besser inside to Miller. Blind pass over to Ian Cole, right circle. He'll try to center. That went through several bodies. Eventually fielded by Brock Besser. Coming off a 40-goal campaign, career high. Miller 103 points, out to Zadorov. Put it back down low. Besser steers over to Cole. Cutting it off, Janmark. Besser scored 4 in the season opener to get his season kick-started. Here's an icing call whistled against Edmonton. Probably Vancouver's best shift of the night.
Yeah, they did a good job there. Seems a lot of their best shifts. Miller's involved in it. Besser's obviously been a killer against Edmonton this year. He's had a great season.
6 of those 40 goals against Edmonton this season. Canucks won on opening night 8-1, and Besser had half of them. Pettersson won the draw. To the right of Stuart Skinner. Vancouver just 2 shots in the first 13 minutes. Höglander trying to change that. And a quick chance for Mikheyev. That's stopped by Skinner. Höglander set it up. Mikheyev, another guy that Vancouver would dearly like to get going. He's got 1 goal in the last 56 games, 1 point in the last 18. 7:09 to go in the first period. Skinner has 3 saves, and Edmonton a 1-0 lead on a power play goal by Zach Hyman. We're coming back with more live coverage of Game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal. We're live in sunny Vancouver, and the Oilers lead at 1-0. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766. At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
1-0 hockey game in favor of Edmonton. A face-off coming to the right of Stuart Skinner. Zach Hyman with his 8th goal of the playoffs on the power play. The difference right now, that ties him with Val Nichushkin of Colorado for the league lead in the postseason. Connor McDavid tied with Makar for the leading scorer overall with 12 points coming in. Off the draw, Nurse guides it over to Cody Ceci. The outlet to Fogle, the kick back to Nurse, and now he'll skate through the neutral zone and rip one on net from the blue line. Save made by Shelovs. 23 years of age. His third year with Vancouver on a part-time basis. Pedersen flipped it up the left-hand side. Cleared out by the Oilers to center. In that 4-0 regular season record that Vancouver put up against Edmonton, as Soucy controls in his own zone, Demko won the 2 games in this building, and Casey DeSmith won both in Edmonton. Here's DiGiuseppe trying to work it through the middle of the ice, and McLeod will get it back from Corey Perry as the Oilers amble their way through the neutral zone. The timing of the play was thrown off, and Holloway is offside. 6:08 to go in the first period. 1-0 for Edmonton. The Oilers have outshot the Canucks 7-3 and out-hit them.
McLeod can't be afraid to handle a puck and transport it and
that's his strength.
Taking it to Lynette. And that time, he had the head of steam going up the middle of the ice, and he tried to feather a pass across the right side to Holloway.
Too deferential.
Yep, just take it.
McLeod against Teddy Bluger. And he won the face-off cleanly. Cody Ceci will send it over to Nurse, and it's a reload for Edmonton inside its own blue line with 6 minutes on the first period clock. Teddy Bluger up the right-hand side. DiGiuseppe in on the forecheck for Vancouver. Forked it back behind the net, but no one was there for the Canucks, and Nurse with an easy clear through the neutral zone. Off Myers' sticks and no icing. Myers gave it away. Corey Perry centering pass, and that was tipped away by Bluger. Held in by Nurse. Myers then rattled it off the right-hand glass. This may be icing, but the puck is going to wobble dead right before the goal line, so Edmonton must simply change and reset. Nurse quarterbacking from behind Stuart Skinner. 5:20 to go in the first period. As the pace slows, Ian Cole jumps up on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, driving down the right-hand side. He might be the best Canuck
by a mile
in the 15 minutes that have been played.
Because he's going for it.
Evander Kane will chip and charge against Besser. Slip the pass in front. Cole right on cue, gave it away to Draisaitl. Now a blast by Ekholm, and he scores! Matthias Ekholm set up by Draisaitl, and it's 2-0 Edmonton. The time, 15:01. And Ian Cole will not be happy with your Oiler commentator tonight.
We whammied him.
2-0 Oilers. A dead giveaway by Cole right to the wrong guy, Draisaitl, who threaded a pass to the high slot, and Ekholm beat Shelovs cleanly.
Leon's only now with the 2 assists. He's moved ahead of Connor. He's now second all-time in points per game in the playoffs, 50-plus games.
Ekholm, that's his first of the playoffs, his 8th career in the postseason. He had 11 during the regular season. Career high offensive year for Matthias Ekholm, and set up by Draisaitl to make it 2-0 in this first period for Edmonton. Puck deflects off of Hyman and will bring the face-off back to the neutral zone as Edmonton guilty of an offside. The Oilers, with a Game 1 victory in a best-of-7 series, has a record of 22-3 in those series. If Vancouver doesn't win Game 1, they're 4-11 lifetime. With that puck out of play, or with the neutral zone face-off upcoming, rather, we will take a break. 4:50 to play in the first. Edmonton has taken a 2-0 lead on goals by Hyman and Ekholm. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs in the Western Conference semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
sheet and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Oh!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
And visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
A 2-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers in Game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal. It's only the third time in 42 years of being divisional rivals that Edmonton and Vancouver have actually played one another in the postseason. The Oilers did not win the Stanley Cup in 1986. They swept the Canucks 3-0, lost in the next round. Then in 1992, and that was a division final, they beat the Canucks in 6 games and got beat in the conference final by the Chicago Blackhawks, who were in the midst of, I believe, a 10 or 11 game winning streak at the time.
I went to Game 1 in 86 against Vancouver and a Game 6 against Vancouver 92.
Hyman driving in for the left-hand side. McDavid guides it back to Matthias Ekholm. Bouchard. Ekholm, how are your seats?
Really good for the Game 1 in 86, not so good in 92.
I'm assuming you paid in 92 then?
I didn't pay for either.
Bouchard winds it around. Hyman ducks in front with a backhander and a save made by Chelovs. Rebound. Bounce just wide. Connor McDavid on it. Hyman a power play goal. Ekholm at even strength, and it's 2-0 Edmonton. Ekholm to Bouchard. Slide step to his left. Wrist shot. Fought off by Chelovs. Not cleanly, but Garland able to scoop up the rebound and clear to Quinn Hughes. Now a dart to Connor Garland. He was spun down by Fogle. Crowd wanted a penalty, none forthcoming. And Bouchard will launch down the middle of the ice, and that 2-bouncer grabbed by Tyler Myers. Pestered by Warren Fogle, who forced him all the way back behind the net, and eventually a giveaway. Connor Brown, one-timer ripped by Kulak into a crowd, deflected wide. Fogle with Myers draped all over. 3.5 to go in the period. Brown, interior pass, intercepted by Hughes, but not cleared. Fogle back to the point. Kulak to Desharnais. He'll play it down low for Connor Brown, who hasn't played in 3 weeks. Now, protecting the puck is Kulak against the hulking 6'7" Tyler Myers. Puck freed up for Quinn Hughes. The outlet delivered safely to Pius Suter. And now Brock Besser. He'll go nowhere. Checked immediately by Ryan McLeod at the blue line. Good step up by McLeod. Pedersen contains on the right half boards. Threw it back behind the net for Brock Besser. Angled off the boards. Ian Cole couldn't handle that pass. Bloom off the rose, I suppose. Zadorov back in his own zone. Up the left-hand side, Pedersen wheels it up the right wing boards for Niels Höglander. Put it behind the net, now Ceci. Checked by Ilya Mikheyev along the end boards. You've got Höglander. Pressure from McLeod. Pedersen back to the point for Ian Cole. Shot, floats off the post on the rebound. Mikheyev hit the post on the rebound. Skinner spilled it, but the Canucks can't capitalize, and Holloway clears to Darnell Nurse, who turns and shovels it in from center ice. Engaged with Höglander as they jostled one another. Cole will reset for Vancouver with 2.25 to play in this first period. The Oilers lead it 2-0. Game 2 will be played Friday night, 8 Mountain Time, right here at Rogers Arena. Under control is Teddy Blueger, stripped easily by Leon Draisaitl. A terrific defensive play, and now Draisaitl on his horse. Gives it up to Evander Kane. Gets it back left circle. Button hooks to the half wall. Then tried a shot that was deflected wide. Rebound Carson Soucy for Vancouver. And he'll clear right to left. Turned over by Lafferty. Lafferty scored a key goal late in the regular season that helped the Canucks beat the Oilers, but otherwise he's been pretty quiet, as have a lot of Vancouver regulars the last couple of months offensively. Bouchard wheels one up the left-hand side. He missed Janmark, and that will be an icing call against Edmonton with 91 seconds to play in the first period. Edmonton 2, Vancouver 0.
It's been Edmonton's period. Hyman with the real nice reverse pivot back behind the goal, and he hit the chest protector on a short side attempt, and then Skinner got a bit of a lucky bounce, got postage off of opportunity for the Canucks down low, and it's like he didn't bank back in off of him.
Mikheyev backhand backhanded it off the post. When I say 91 seconds, what do you think of, Bob? Spinks Tyson, 1988. That's how long it lasted. Besser.
Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, Jack.
Yeah, Spinks certainly didn't have one. Here's Miller out to Myers. A blast and a redirection just wide of Stuart Skinner. Heavy traffic in front. JT Miller to Brock Besser. Centering pass. Intercepted. Desharnais did not get it out of the zone. Hugh Suter from both knees. Over to Miller. Off the boards to Myers. Off balance. Can't get a shot through. Besser comes over with a minute on the clock for Suter. Down low. JT Miller. Checked off the puck by McDavid. And now McDavid tries to get by Tyler Myers, who holds the zone. Suter. Besser on the right half boards. Myers, high slot, shot. Redirected wide of Skinner. Rebound to Quinn Hughes. Left corner. Led the league amongst defensemen with 92 points. Myers a shot. That was blocked, and now McDavid almost away, but Myers again holds the zone. Another good shift for Vancouver. Miller on his backhand, protecting. Feathering out to Quinn Hughes. From the left point, he'll wind it around. That's taken by Besser. Flicked out to Zadorov with 20 seconds to go. It's been a long shift for Vancouver's forwards here. Suter finishes his check on Bouchard. Zadorov tried to hold the zone. A second time he does. And now it's Besser trying to fight his way through traffic. The Oilers still trapped in their own zone. But Miller finally coughs it up. Now Janmark will try to pin the remaining time against the boards, and he does.
Great job defensively. There's that defensive structure from Edmonton. They stayed in the zone.
Boxed him out a little bit.
And then end up out shooting Vancouver 10-6 in that period. Edmonton got caught with two righties on the ice, Desharnais and Bouchard. And there were a couple opportunities for Desharnais, some quick decision stuff, but the Oilers did a real good job keeping the Hounds at bay.
Oilers convert the period's only power play, limit the Canucks to just 5 shots now credited to Vancouver in that first period. And the Canucks only averaged 20 a game against Nashville. So Edmonton, a solid first period, Bob. Hard to quibble with anything we saw in the opening 20 from an Oilers perspective.
And it starts on the power play. And they didn't snipe on the power play in either of the two games here. It's a different time. That power play right now is going, man. They're feeling it. And again, it was later in the power play, but they're just relentless. And they've got 5 players that can create.
A couple of failed clears there on the power play for the Canucks.
100%.
Zadorov coughed one up, and the Oilers, if you don't clear the puck when you have an opportunity.
And that's what Rick Tocchet said this morning. He said you got to get pucks out against them.
You're going to pay more often than not. Hyman from Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins at 2:11 of the first. And Ekholm from Draisaitl at 15:01. And now we're joined by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, of course, playing in his hometown. And Ryan, I find it hard to quibble with what transpired in the opening 20 minutes. Are you fairly satisfied with how your club played that period coming off a week layoff?
I don't think satisfied's the word here. We want to keep pushing and not get complacent. I think we did a good job of getting the puck down there, getting a good forecheck and creating stuff from down low, but and protecting our front of net. We know that they're going to front. It's going to be a key in the series, but no, we want to keep pushing here. Can't sit back against a team like this.
Your power play's feeling it right now, Ryan, and you're staying out, and you're making it count late into power plays as well.
We want to be the difference maker. If teams are going to take liberties, I know obviously there's too many there, but we want to make them pay. So I thought we did a good job of just sticking with it, battling. They put a lot of pressure on us. We just stuck with it and going.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.
That's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who assisted on the Hyman power play goal that opened the scoring, and then Matthias Ekholm off an Ian Cole turnover. And again, you look at the power play goal, comes off a couple of fair clearing attempts, and Ian Cole just hands it right to Leon Draisaitl.
You give Leon,
do it.
Leon, Connor McDavid's the best player on the planet. He's the most advanced player we've ever seen. But come playoff time, the last 3 years, Leon Draisaitl is right there with Connor McDavid. They do it differently. And, he had a rush up the ice and almost ended up creating a 2-on-1 off the rush. Draisaitl had a massive period for the Oilers, and that's part of the reason. Dominant. period. On a day in which Mark Messier had one of his greatest performances of all time made.
I haven't heard you mention that once at all today.
Yeah, not at all. 1990 against the Chicago Blackhawks, 2 goal, 2 assist, 4-point performance. But Leon was a big horse for Edmonton. And Nuge said something there as well. He talked about them, defensively staying within themselves. Don't beat themselves. Staying in their structure and process. And that helped them get through a sequence at the end of the period.
Yeah, boxed them out a little bit. It's also the same day that Vancouver, and this shows you where the league has gone too, in terms of how long the season is. This is also the anniversary of Vancouver's first ever game in the Stanley Cup final. They lost in overtime to the Islanders back in 1982. That was game 1 of the final. Yeah. This is game 1 2 rounds earlier. Just goes to show you where the game has gone. And it's gone Edmonton's way through 20 minutes. Hyman and Ekholm. And you also heard Nugent Hopkins, quickly say, hey, satisfied, well, whatever. We played a decent period. Satisfied isn't the right word. They want to keep pushing, and they've got a 2-0 lead with just 5 shots against through the opening 20 minutes. An outstanding start to this Western Conference semifinal, which now reads Edmonton 2, Vancouver 0 through 20 minutes of play. Reed and Rob are next up. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
CHED 630 Chad. Edmonton's news. Today's talk.
On air, online, on your smart speaker, and on the Radio Player Canada app. A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
Alberta's best sprint car drivers battle it out against their Rocky Mountain rivals for the Can-Am Sprint Car Challenge. Catch all the dirt-slinging excitement May 25th at Rad Torque Raceway. Then get ready to color your world as the International Children's Festival of the Arts returns to St. Albert with countless awe-inspiring and mind-growing experiences. May 30th through June 2nd. Details at childfest.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630chad.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Now it's Nugent Hopkins coming off the goal line to McDavid. And now Leon Draisaitl surveying the interior. Draisaitl 5 goals, 10 points in the first round. Nugent Hopkins cross ice, one-timer score. And Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead. It's Zach Hyman with a power play goal.
Well, Vancouver took a penalty 40 seconds into the game. Zach Hyman scores on the power play 2:11 into the game. Matthias Ekholm added an even strength goal later. 2-0 Edmonton after the first period, game 1 against the Canucks. That was your look into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Well, Rob Brown, I'm sure Vancouver started the game saying, okay, play physical, but sticks down, elbows down, don't get the stick in their feet, don't take any sort of that type of penalty. Oh, wait, we forgot about too many men.
Yeah, it was a really tough period for Ian Cole of the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to talk about both goals, but talk about the first one. You got to read the play on the ice. If you're on the bench, you got to find out where the puck is at all times. Ian Cole doesn't pay attention to the puck. You can see he's looking at his man. He jumps on the ice. And I'm pretty sure that Craig Simpson mentioned it if you were watching the game. And we've talked about it before. When you see a team changing and you've got no play, throw it at their bench. Just throw it at their bench. Because what you see sometimes when the puck goes to the bench, someone has to play it, and they've got too many men on the ice. But Ian Cole, you can't make mistakes like that. I know that this is the home team, and they were ahead of the Oilers in the regular season, but they're the underdog in this series. And when you're the underdog, you can't make big mistakes. That was the first, and it was a very big mistake by Ian Cole, a veteran player that should know better than that.
And it was interesting, too, Rob, because this Oilers power play is so good. 9 for 20 coming into the game, and you can almost say 11 for 20 because of those 2 they got just after penalties expired against L.A., And it was interesting watching that power play because there was at least twice, I can't remember if there was a third time, but at least twice Vancouver flat out intercepted an Oilers pass on the power play. I don't know if LA intercepted two the entire series. Clean interceptions by Vancouver, and they're probably thinking, hey, we're killing this thing off, but the Oilers power play just keeps coming.
Well, and you're right, 100%. I don't think the LA Kings ever did touch a puck when the Oilers were on the PvP, but this is the difference between the Oilers power play and any other power play in the league, except maybe Colorado. The Oilers power play stay out the full 2 minutes. So you think you can kill 1:40 and everything's going right, but now you got tired penalty killers out there, and they just keep coming. Connor doesn't get tired. Neither does Leon. They don't stay in the same spot. I said it against LA, and I'll say it in this series. You cannot play passive against the Oilers power play. And on the goal that they scored, the four Canucks were standing still, trying to take away passing lanes. But the Oilers move. And when the Oilers move and change positions, they create new passing lanes. And normally you do not see Ryan Nugent-Hopkins standing down on the goal line. And he was. They just keep moving around. He has all the time in the world. He got the puck. He got to survey the entire ice. All right, okay, Connor's taken, Leon's taken, Boucher's. Oh, wait, Hyman's wide open. And he's got an easy pass over to Zach Hyman, who's wide open. So the Canucks, A, can't take penalties, and B, you cannot be that passive because the Edmonton Oilers will pick you apart.
Yeah, so 2-0 Edmonton, shots 10-6 in favor of the Oilers, but a couple good chances for Vancouver. Garland had a breakaway. The Hronik shot went off the end of Skinner's stick. I mean, I would give the advantage to the Oilers in that period, but I thought the Canucks still made some noise.
I agree, and that's something that I think you're going to see more in this series than you did against the LA Kings, is there will be shifts or momentum swings where the Vancouver Canucks come at you hard. They're good. They got a good hockey club. In that period, they made two horrible mistakes, but when they had their chances, they got guys that can bury it, and probably a little unlucky they didn't score one goal. They put the one off the post. They had two or three really good shifts. Garland, a fantastic goal scorer. He has a breakaway. Skinner makes a nice save on that one. So to me, and that's why the second mistake Cole made was so big. The Canucks, even though they're down one, they got a couple big saves. They're pressing. They're getting good chances. And then Ian Cole comes back. Kane just throws it in front of the net to nothing. And Cole just makes a soft play, bounces it off behind the net. And Leon says, well, thank you very much. He gets the puck, throws it to the point, and then Cole stands in front of his goal. He screens his own goaltender. So those are mistakes you can't make against good hockey clubs. And the Edmonton Oilers, the one thing they have is when you give them a chance, they'll bury it. And they buried two grade A scoring chances, both unfortunately on the back of mistakes made by Ian Cole.
All right, so the Oilers leading the Canucks 2-0 after the first period. You're listening to Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through EdmontonsBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from offering their best value rates. EdmontonsBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Going back to school can be as scary as taking the winning shot, but it doesn't have to be. Score a great future with Northern Lakes College and supported distance learning. NLC knows that students need attention, support, and the synergy between instructors and peers to keep motivated and connected. They are here to help you meet all your goals and cheer you on. Because at Northern Lakes College, they count their success one student at a time. northernlakescollege.ca.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through EdmontonsBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from offering their best value rates. EdmontonsBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
With
Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Municipal leaders in Edmonton and Calgary continue to raise concerns about Bill 20 despite new affordable housing provisions meant to accelerate affordable housing construction. Alberta Municipalities says the changes will help accelerate affordable housing projects, but they are not enough to address the affordable housing crisis. The organization says, quote, with input from municipal representatives, the provincial government could have done more and made further improvements. The Edmonton Elks will be looking to get a lot more fans in the seats this year. The Elks held their annual general meeting today, reporting an operating loss of $3.9 million last season as the team missed the playoffs for a third straight season. The Elks have lost more than $15 million over the last 3 seasons. And Sean McLeod, a lawyer and former deputy minister who has worked in both the private and public sectors, has been selected by the Legislative Committee to be the province's next ethics commissioner. If the recommendation is accepted, McLeod will replace current ethics commissioner Marguerite Trussler, who has been in the role for a decade. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
The intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Evander Kane will chip and charge against Besser. Slip the pass in front. Cole right on cue, gave it away to Draisaitl. Now a blast by Ekholm, and he scores! Matthias Ekholm set up by Draisaitl, and it's 2-0 Edmonton. Draisaitl getting 2 assists in that period. Ekholm with his first goal of the postseason. 2-0 Oilers in the lead after the first period in Game 1 as we check the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Panthers over the Bruins 6-1 tonight. So a couple of lopsided games in that series, which is now tied 1-1. NBA playoffs, Knicks beat the Pacers 130-121. They lead that series 2-0. The Blue Jays win 5-3 on the road against the Phillies. Okay, Hyman and Ekholm, the goal scorers. Oilers leading Vancouver 2-0 as we head to the second period. Jack and Bob are coming up. You're listening to Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
The Edmonton Oilers 2, the Vancouver Canucks nothing as we played 20 minutes. Hyman a power play goal from Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins. That came at 2:11. Hyman now tied for the league lead in goals. And then Matthias Ekholm set up by Leon Draisaitl. So with 2 assists, Draisaitl not only moves past McDavid for all-time points per game in the playoffs, but he moves alongside him and Cale Makar for the league leader in points. So they've got the league leader in points, the league leader in goals, and most importantly, a 2-0 lead in game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal. Edmonton right to left in the white against the Vancouver Canucks in the blue. Set for the second period, and there's the drop of the puck. McDavid won the face-off against J.T. Miller. It's swept back to Bouchard by Hyman, who now punches it forward and deep into the zone. Soucy gave it to Tyler Myers. It trickled free for a moment, and the long reach of Matthias Janmark kept it in, albeit momentarily, for the Edmonton Oilers. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you on our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth high atop Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Just a beautiful afternoon in the city with temperatures at plus 20 and cloudless. Cloudless being the operative word. Chipped up the right-hand side. Swept around by Ian Cole. Pius Suter able to snag it from the high slot. It's J.T. Miller between circles. The handoff, Zadorov a shot, fielded flawlessly by Stuart Skinner, who came into this game having lost 4 of his 5 career decisions against Vancouver and played to a save percentage of .855. So this has not been a team historically he's been that good against. But he closed out L.A. with superlative work in games 3 through 5, stopping a grand total of 84 out of 87 shots. Face-off win for Elias Lindholm. A blast by Cole. That's wide. Rebound score. Friendly hop, and Dakota Joshua puts it home to get the Canucks on the board. It's 2-1. 53 seconds into period 2.
Jock, we talked at the end of the first period about Edmonton just getting destroyed in the face-off circle. And they only won 4 of 14 draws, and they've lost both here to start the second. And that time, Leon beaten by Lindholm off the circle, a fortuitous bounce, and the Canucks are within 1.
Joshua from Zadorov, he had a 3-point performance, including 2 goals in the Game 1 win over Nashville. And he's coming off a career year of 18 goals and 32 points. Late round pick of the Maple Leafs 10 years ago. Off the draw, Lindholm looking to tie it, trying to center off the pads of Skinner. The tip by Garland, and then directed back to Zadorov. And the Canucks go right back to work. But Garland stripped to the puck. Ceci able to shovel it successfully back to center. Sorry, Cole rather. And Lindholm with the helpers. Now a turnover by Edmonton. Heels Höglander, right circle. Fired it across to Quinn Hughes. Put it back down low for Ilya Mikheyev, who hit a post in the first period. Canucks back in the game at 2-1. And most importantly, the crowd is back in the game. Roenick to Hughes, trying to get around Warren Fogle from the left half boards. A shot. And Skinner kicked that one into the corner. Höglander on it. Puck deflected on a pass in front. And Warren Fogle is able to shovel it all the way back inside the Vancouver line. Roenick ahead. Pettersson's offside. I think Hughes was the guilty party. And the Oilers' 2-1 lead will await a face-off in the neutral zone 2 minutes into the second period. So it's Cole and Lindholm with the helpers on Dakota Joshua's third of the postseason, 53 seconds in. 2-1 Oilers over the Canucks.
Got to start winning some face-offs if you're Edmonton. And You know, the Canucks had a good shift at the end of the first period. They've picked off McDavid a couple times and knocked him on his butt when he hasn't had the puck. Those are penalties in the regular season, but it's going to be a physical series.
McLeod wins the faceoff against Sam Lafferty, and the Oilers send it in deep. Ryan McLeod threw it around the boards. Corey Perry ducks inside, and then a backhander on net. Somehow he got it off, and a save made by Sheeloff. That was good work by Perry to get that shot on net. He's playing in his 202nd career postseason game, which puts him inside the top 20 and ties him with an old teammate with whom he won a Stanley Cup, Scott Niedermayer. 17:41 to go, second period. A face-off coming in the Vancouver zone.
Excellent move by Perry, and the Canucks are lucky that puck didn't deflect in off Veronic into the net.
McLeod between Holloway and Perry. Circle right of Sheeloff's. Clean face-off win for Ryan McLeod. Wrist shot flutters wide from Bouchard. So there's your face-off win. The puck lodged in the netting in the back of the net, and eventually dug out and carved free by Teddy Bluger to Roenick, and then one-handed out of the zone by Hughes. Tapped in by Lafferty. After it, behind the net, sent up to Dylan Holloway, trying to work his way through Tyler Myers. Left for Carson Soucy, who just got blasted by Corey Perry. Reversed by J.T. Miller up the left-hand side for Carson Soucy. Does not get it out of the zone, but gets some help on the backside for Pius Suter, and the Canucks are away left to right. Shot in by J.T. Miller, the Pittsburgh native. Down low, Matthias Ekholm able to swing it up the boards. Tyler Myers trades the puck with Brock Besser. And the Canucks on a reload. Tap by Besser over to Myers. From center ice, he'll shoot it in. Skinner a little off balance. Did he touch that puck outside the trapezoid? He did. Delay of game. That's the correct call. Skinner touched that puck outside the trapezoid. I don't think we've seen that more than twice in the last 10 years.
But we've seen it twice with Skinner.
Yes. Time 3:23. So both teams taking penalties where it's unforced.
They're letting a lot go.
Well, that was the right call. He definitely touched it outside the trapezoid.
It's a penalty, but they're letting a lot go. And then we've seen two calls like that. Why would, I guess, Connor Brown, you have to have a player on the ice.
Right, serve the penalty for Skinner. So Connor Brown will do so, and that takes away a penalty killer.
And here's where the face-offs come in. And it's a left side draw, so it's Nugent Hopkins and not Ryan against Lindholm. And as we mentioned, Lindholm's basically a career 56% face-off man.
Guy who tends to show up against Edmonton.
It's only at 48.7 in the playoffs.
Nugent Hopkins and Lindholm. Well, a lot of those draws were against Ryan O'Reilly, so that's actually not too bad.
He can do that to you, can he?
Here's J.T. Miller, threw it around the boards. Elias Pettersson on the puck for Vancouver. Power play 2 for 13 against Nashville. Shot by Miller, redirected. Edmonton perfect, 12 for 12 on the kill against L.A. It's the first time in the history of the Edmonton Oilers that they played a perfect series on the penalty kill. Pettersson wheels a shot up near the clavicle of Skinner. He makes the save. Rebound to Besser. And now Quinn Hughes will get it back from Elias Pettersson. Moving across for J.T. Miller. Crossing off the skate of Lindholm. That pass actually intended for Pettersson, but it went off the skate of Lindholm, and the Canucks must regroup. Oilers will change it up. McLeod onto the ice along with Fogle, Ceci, and Nurse. And McLeod's harassment forces Vancouver back into its own end. Pettersson drops it on to the on-rushing Quinn Hughes. This power play, shade under 23% during the regular season. Good attack by McLeod. Took it away from Miller, and now Fogle shorthanded away with McLeod over the line. Takes a shot, fought off by Sheeloff. That's a couple of times, and let's pay attention to this. The catching glove has not been clean for Sheeloff. Here's Lindholm dropping it off eventually for Connor Garland. Fake the slam in and eventually just gives it up to J.T. Miller. He'll feather it down low. Nurse whacked the stick out of Garland's hands. Besser watches as Miller keeps it alive. Garland back to Miller. checked by Janmark, and a good play by Janmark. Short-handed break for Janmark. Left wing, fakes the shot, takes it behind the net, wrap around, and could not tuck it home with 20 seconds left in this Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. The Oilers looking to remain perfect and keep their 2-1 lead intact. Miscommunication between Sheeloffs and Garland. Finally, the outlet delivered to Philip Roenick. At center ice, McLeod was tracking and prevented the drop-off pass. Connor Brown is out of the box, and Edmonton's back to full strength. The perfect 13 out of 13 in the playoffs on the kill. Garland's centering pass stolen by Brown. He'll chip and charge. Roenick after the puck for Vancouver. Fires one off the skate of Dakota Joshua, who got the Canucks on the board in the first minute of this second period. Kulak will take a walk with 6 minutes having elapsed here in the second. It remains 2-1 Edmonton in game one of this best of 7. Draisaitl slithers his way down the right half boards against Soucy. Now given some room. DiGiuseppe took it away. The steal up the center ice. He'll dump it past Draisaitl, and Edmonton will reset as Draisaitl himself will collect the puck in his own zone. Chip it ahead for McDavid. Coming off that kill, Draisaitl and McDavid played less than 9 minutes of 5-on-5 hockey in the LA series. Nurse rifles one up the gut. Draisaitl did not get a touch, but Hyman will negate icing, as he's first on the puck in the offensive zone for Draisaitl. Now McDavid lets it go through to Evan Bouchard. A shot, sharp angle, save made, juicy rebound, and no one seemed to want it. Finally, it was poke free for Lafferty. He'll turn, and that puck is on edge, and it turns into an icing call against the Canucks. A bad break for Lafferty with 13:11 to go in the second period. The Oilers leading 2-1, and now an offensive zone draw against a weary Canucks fivesome, and they'll send out McLeod, Holloway, and Perry.
Well, at some point, this line has to break through for Edmonton. They got to get some secondary scoring. Holloway did score 2 goals in game 2, but that was when he was playing on the fourth line, Jack.
Line has had some good looks. Bouchard to Ekholm, rifled it off the blocker. The rebound and a save made on Holloway by Sheeloffs with a right pad. One of his best stops of the night. Corey Perry under control. Behind the net, Holloway. Taken by Sam Lafferty. He'll reverse back behind his own net and leave it for DiGiuseppe on the left wing. Pounded in by Bluger, and Vancouver will change as Skinner leaves it for Mattias Ekholm. 12.5 minutes to go in the second period. 2-1 the score in favor of the Oilers. Looking to win on the road against Vancouver. It was just behind Edmonton in terms of a home record this year, but then lost 2 of 3 against Nashville on home ice. Mikheyev enters the zone, whips it around the boards. After it, Desharnais got it up to Nugent-Hopkins, rammed off the boards to center ice for Ian Cole. Now Höglander, left wing, into the attacking zone. Nugent-Hopkins draped all over. Dug out by Pettersson. Roenick will step up. Tried to wrist it in front, redirected. Sharp angle shot, stopped against Elias Pettersson by Stuart Skinner. Pettersson tailed off significantly in the latter third of the season, still finished with 89 points. Mikheyev on the puck, tucks in front with a backhander denied, point-blank range by Skinner. And now Evander Kane leads the rush with Draisaitl. Tried to get through Tyler Myers. The puck played to the half wall. Myers on Draisaitl forces a turnover. Elias Lindholm put it up the middle. That's stolen away by Darnell Nurse. Up the right-hand side, you've got Evander Kane, bottled up by Soucy. The outlet pass taken by Connor Garland, and he'll wind it around. Elias Lindholm and Dakota Joshua collapse on the puck on the left half boards. Joshua turned it back over to Draisaitl. Hopkins watches as Nurse tries to clear from out of his own end. Eventually, Nugent-Hopkins offered that secondary support and got it back to the Vancouver line. Pius Suter ahead for Besser. Left wing, sent it behind Cody Ceci. Nurse first on the puck, did not get it out. Roenick played it back around. Connor McDavid's going to be first on this one, challenged by Quinn Hughes. Conservatively chips it deep into the Vancouver zone as we approach the midway point of game 1. Edmonton 2, Vancouver 1, 10.5 to go. Second period. Evan Bouchard off a Canucks dump in. Found McDavid. Through the neutral zone, hits Matthias Ekholm. A shot flutters into the waiting glove of Artur Shilovs. And with 10:32 to play in the second period, token hostility developing between Suter and Hyman. Their pride apart. We take a break. Rogers Arena, the site of Game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal between the Oilers and the Canucks. It's Edmonton 2, Vancouver 1. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and the Stanley Cup Playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
10:32 to play in the second period. You have to say it, Bob. Vancouver's pushed its way back into this game.
100%. They've been real good here in the second, and it started the last couple shifts of the first, and they won a lot of draws. They've had puck possession.
Shots are 6-2. The Canucks scoring. Dakota Joshua, Fermin Cole, and Elias Lindholm at 53 seconds into the period. But the Oilers still have the lead in Game 1 by a score of 2-1. Off the draw, Lindholm. Carson Soucy up the left-hand side. Skinner will play the puck. Edmonton has not trailed since Game 2 of the LA series. Ekholm, meanwhile, has his stick caught in Joshua's ear hole.
That is hard to do. Like the confluence of events for that to happen.
That'd be a heck of a Halloween costume as they pry the stick out of Joshua's headgear. Joshua's claiming it was incurred on a high stick. The official's not buying it.
Yeah, looks like
10:14 to go in the second. How did you see that one, Bob?
no harm, no foul, Jack. Obviously, the crowd disagrees. Fogel's going to get a half a shift here with McDavid and Hyman.
And we thought we might see some different wingers with McDavid and Hyman tonight with the injury to Adam Henrique. Here's Warren Foegele trying to put it through the middle. It's not a significant injury. In fact, Henrique is a question mark for Friday night's Game 2. Evan Bouchard will work it up the right-hand boards. Mikheyev cuts it off at center for Vancouver, and Miller spills it in. Canucks attacking from left to right. Skinner leaves it for Bouchard. The breakout pass is off target intended for Hyman and turns into an icing call. That was a grenade. Tough one for Hyman to handle it with 9:45 to go in the second period. The faceoff returns to the Edmonton zone with the Oilers leading by a score of 2-1. There's a group of Vancouver fans tonight dressed in the old-school Hockey Night in Canada blazers.
Quite the look. Those were rocking back in the day.
Right behind Stuart Skinner, in fact. About 20 rows up here at Rogers Arena. McDavid beaten off the face-off by JT Miller. Sent across to Philip Roenick, and now Pius Suter right circle. Drops it off. Shot Roenick. And a left pad save made by Skinner. Rebound, Fogle took a hard hit, did not get it out of the zone. Bouchard did, and now McDavid's away. Change of pace on Roenick, who recovered well and knocked that puck into the far corner. McDavid back on it, tried to hit Kulak, and the puck skittered between his legs. Kulak recovers back in his own zone. That was a good play by Roenick. I thought McDavid might have had a half step on it. Kulak with an errant pass, and that'll be another icing call against Edmonton. 9:08 to go in the second period. Are you seeing anything that the Canucks are doing in the neutral zone that's starting to frustrate Edmonton?
Yep, they're taking away the middle seams, and then the Oilers forwards are too separated from the defense, and the Oilers are trying long stretch passes, and they're ending results in D-zone draws, and the Canucks have been the better team in the face-off circle. Won about 60% of the face-offs so far in this game, and their lone goal came off a face-off win.
Pedersen against McLeod, who won a draw back to Vinny Desharnais. Cut off by Mikheyev on the right half boards. Höglander. Problem for Pedersen is he's trying to get out of a slump, but this whole line is ice cold with Mikheyev, Höglander, and Pedersen. Desharnais off the Vancouver dump-in. Hughes forced back to center. Pedersen shoots it in. Mikheyev after it. On it, right half boards. Plays it out. Zadorov clubbed one toward the net. That was blocked away by Kulak. And now a little spin move by Mikheyev. Trying to shake free of traffic. Put it down low. Pedersen. Holloway pulls his way inside on Hughes. Shot from distance by DiGiuseppe trickled through and was stopped by Stuart Skinner.
Too much time in the Oilers zone right now for Edmonton.
Desharnais. And again, Vancouver stacking up that neutral zone. Desharnais this time locates Nugent-Hopkins for a dump in. But Nikita Zadorov will collect for Vancouver.
Draisaitl's got a problem here, Jack. Something happened to him when he stepped on the ice.
Bluegerd and Lafferty. Wrist shot off the rush. Save made, and the rebound cleared by Ceci. Inches wide of the post. Rebound. Roenick takes a shot. Dropped by Skinner. Loose in the blue paint. Lafferty could not finish, and again, Ceci was in the mix.
This is not good. Draisaitl's going off with TD force, Jack.
Trying to work that puck free. Cole looked like he might have played that puck with a high stick. Matters not as Derek Ryan comes the other way for the Oilers. Fired home by Ceci. 3-1 Edmonton. Shilov's fooled from distance. That was just hammered home, and Cody Ceci has his third career Stanley Cup playoff goal in this, his 70th game, and the Oilers lead back to 2.
Well, 2 goals for defensemen for Edmonton so far in this game, and against the flow of play, Cody Ceci, a long-range bomber. Derek Ryan gains his own entry, makes a real smart play, button hooks, drops it off. Ceci right through it and got a piece of coal, Jack.
I think it changed directions, but Shilov's was really sliding hard to his right. And when the puck deflected back to his left, he couldn't recover. And as you said, that's 2 from distance for Edmonton's defenseman. Now off the draw, centering pass. Miller couldn't find it in his feet as it hit him in the chest and dropped at his feet, but he couldn't get a shot away. Janmark able to dump it in for Edmonton. Reversed by Myers up the left-hand side. So Derek Ryan with the lone assist on Cody Ceci's first goal of the playoffs, and again the third of his career. 3-1 Edmonton. Ceci finished with 5 goals all in the second half of the season. Remember, he went more than 100 games without scoring a goal. Bouchard on to Zach Hyman, left wing. Takes it to the net, shoots and scores right through Shilov's, and that might be it for Vancouver's starter. Hyman's second of the game. 4-1 Edmonton in game 1.
That's an ugly one.
2 goals in 45 seconds, and thus far, no move toward Casey DeSmith. Not yet, anyways, but Shilov's burned again. This time, Hyman, whose shot may have been tipped on its way to the net. Myers was back and did get a piece, but that just flutters 5-hole. That's got to be stopped. Hyman's league-leading 9th of the postseason.
And again, Leon Draisaitl not on the Oilers bench right now.
Off the draw, Desharnais wheeled it around. Fogle collided with Kulak, and the puck ends up being iced, but we've got a penalty coming, and this time Connor Brown will go to the box for a hold, and this time he'll be serving his own penalty rather than Stuart Skinner's. But it's 4-1 Edmonton. Zach Hyman, second of the game, follows up Cody Ceci, and the Oilers strike twice in 45 seconds to break open game one. Vancouver power play on deck. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4 goals on 14 shots for the Edmonton Oilers. And now Vancouver, a power play, and you almost feel like this might be a must convert for the Canucks. Connor Brown in the box, 2 minutes for holding. Nugent Hopkins will line up on the PK alongside Janmark, Ekholm, and Desharnais. It's brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 1. The Canucks had played a solid second period, but the Oilers got 2 goals in 45 seconds. Ceci from distance and Hyman, and a couple of redirections end up in the net for Edmonton. Pedersen off the draw, tried to center. Nugent Hopkins picked it off, skates to the red line, and will chip and charge in against Quinn Hughes. By the way, give Nugent Hopkins a second assist on the Cody Ceci goal, and Bouchard and McDavid with the helpers on Hyman's second of the night and league-leading 9th of the postseason.
The Oilers still down. No Leon Draisaitl on the bench.
Lindholm to Pedersen. Defended well at the blue line by Matthias Janmark. McLeod is now on for Nugent Hopkins. Miller slithers a pass. Lindholm, a tough shot from the slot, but a save made by Stuart Skinner. Lindholm did not elevate that puck. Pedersen threw it across to JT Miller on the left half boards. Shadowed by Janmark. He'll angle one off the end wall to Pedersen. Deep in the right face-off circle from the corner to Hughes. Miller up top. 37 goals this year, career high. Hughes thought about a one-timer. Now Miller, one-time wide by Pedersen. And that's been the story of his playoffs. Miller tried to fire it across. That was deflected out of play. Elias Pettersson, including the regular season, just 1 goal in his last 19. And the rangefinder was off on that one-timer, now down to just 47 seconds on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. 5:23 to play in the second period. Game 1 of this Western Conference semi. And it's Edmonton 4, Vancouver 1.
A right side draw. Derek Ryan against Miller here.
Canucks again won all 4 regular season meetings, and it was the difference in the Pacific Division title race. Off the draw, the puck hopped through the wickets of Quinn Hughes. He has to reload at center. Nugent Hopkins and Ryan with pressure up ice. Besser with a handoff to Elias Lindholm. Back to Quinn Hughes. Shoots, and that was redirected off the pads of Skinner. Wasn't sure where the rebound was. Besser found it, gave it to Miller, then got it back on the goal line. Miller from the left half board, shadowed by Ceci. Feathers it down low. Besser didn't get a clean shot away. Skinner unable to come up with it, but Nugent Hopkins did and clears down the ice. Just 10 seconds left on the Canucks power play. Vancouver left to right. Pius Suter hits the line with speed. Off to Joshua. Crowded by Bouchard. Penalty is over. Edmonton, a perfect 14 of 14 in the playoffs on the kill. Here's Connor Garland. Wandering in the left corner. Back to Zadorov. He gave it away. McLeod the steal. Warren Fogle hard up the boards. That's going to be an icing call. Not much touch on that pass. Intended for Connor Brown. 4:17 to play in the second period. And the Oilers have built a 4-1 lead on the road at Rogers Arena, where they were beaten soundly twice during the regular season. But those losses were 6 months ago.
This group here has got to get the puck up the ice, and the Oilers will get Hyman back out there with McDavid and Janmark.
Face-off win for Teddy Bluger. To the right of Skinner. A wrist shot redirected. Taken off the boards by Warren Fogle. He's got Connor Brown with him. In over the line, left circle. Brown set Fogle free, but he couldn't thread a shot through. Had it blocked. Kulak kept it alive, and then it was launched over Kulak and off the glass. This may be icing, and there's the call with 3:54 to go in the second period. And it's a disgruntled 19,000 plus inside Rogers Arena. Vancouver won 50 games during the regular season, including 27 wins at home. But the Oilers were able to get the first goal 2 minutes in on a power play that the Canucks afforded them with a too many men on the ice call, and thus far Edmonton has not looked back. Canucks have had some spells where they've outplayed the Oilers, but have not cashed in. McDavid chased out of the circle here. It'll be Evander Kane taking the draw to the right of Shelovs. And it must be stated, I mean, the Oilers have scored 4 times on 14 shots against Shelovs, who shut out the Preds in Game 6 to clinch that series. Zadorov off the draw, won by Vancouver, but the Canucks aren't able to get it out. So Bouchard lays it down low, and it's Hyman. Out there with McDavid and Kane, flipped out successfully by the Canucks' Teddy Bluger, and retrieved by Matthias Ekholm. He scored the second goal late in the first period. Vancouver got one in the first minute of this second period, but then the Oilers' 2 quick strikes in 45 seconds have deflated the crowd. Sent in deep by the Oilers. Nurse unable to keep it in. Connor Garland, legs churning, beaten to the puck by Cody Ceci, who scored the third goal. Here he turns it over. Joshua in front. That puck skittered wide of the mark. Rebound Hyman. He was drilled by Joshua. Freed it up for Lindholm behind the net, then tried to throw it in front, and he banked it off Skinner. 4-2. Lindholm gets a bounce. He's got a goal and an assist tonight, and the Canucks have life.
Well, Nurse and Ceci have got to make a better play there. They didn't. And the Oilers were not in jeopardy there. They were not under stress, and they turned into a situation where they got duress.
Time 17:01.
All around the net.
Lindholm with his third of the playoffs. Remember, he had the OT winner in the game that completely changed that Nashville series. That went off Skinner's stick and into the net.
And again, Draisaitl has not played here in the last 7 minutes. He's not on the bench.
Lindholm capped a stirring comeback by the Canucks. In Game 4, they were down 2 goals with less than 3 minutes to play. They became the 8th team in the history of the league to win under those circumstances in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Lindholm got the OT winner. Canucks took a 3-1 series lead and closed it out 4 days later. Kulak shot from distance, pinball to the corner, cleared by the Canucks' Joshua, but that'll turn into an icing call. And so the faceoff returns to the Canucks zone. Lindholm with his third of the postseason. So 4-2.
And TD Forrest and Leon still have not returned to the bench. That is not good news for Edmonton. It almost looked...
And you think it might be a non-contact type of situation.
Which really concerns me.
Joshua and Susie with the helpers on the Lindholm goal, and the Canucks take another icing call off the draw. There have only been 30 shots on net in this game, 6 goals. And this crowd is revved up once again with 2.5 to play.
Edmonton's got to get the next shot here, Jack.
McDavid between Kane and Hyman. Ekholm and Bouchard defensively. Face-off win for Pettersson, but the Canucks are unable to get that puck out. Puck pinned along the half wall, finally dug out. Hostilities renewed between Zadorov and Kane, the pair of 91s. Bouchard, in the meantime, tried an outlet that was foiled, and Ekholm is able to take control of the puck with 2 minutes to play in this second period. Edmonton still in control at 4-2. Kane over the line, play is onside. Sent in deep. Zadorov up the right-hand side for Brock Besser. Middle of the ice, Pius Suter. Flick toward the Edmonton goal. Skinner will leave it for Nurse. Reversed up the left-hand side. Miller took it away from Kane. One-timer. And Besser had it blocked by Nurse. And that was a tremendous job by Darnell Nurse to get in the shot lane. 1:45 to go in the second period. Edmonton's lead in game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal remains 2. 4-2. Edmonton. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority. It's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
1 minute, 45 seconds to play. Second period of game 1 of this best-of-7 series. Oilers starting on the road in Vancouver. Edmonton leads 4-2. Zach Hyman has scored twice. Remember, he had a hat trick in game 1 of the LA series. The Oilers never look back, eliminating the Kings in 5. He has 2 goals tonight, but Leon Draisaitl is injured. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins now on a line with McLeod and Fogle. Won a face-off to the left of Skinner, and it's tossed successfully out by Nurse. Quinn Hughes up the left-hand side. No update yet on Leon Draisaitl, but he has not returned, and neither has head athletic trainer TD Force. This looks like icing, but McLeod is able to split the Canucks defense and negate it. Fogle would have been called for icing. McLeod ended up giving the puck away to Besser, and now it's JT Miller to Besser over the line. Besser fires it across for Miller. The Canucks will try to do what they haven't had to do in the first-round series against Nashville, and that's score 5 goals. They're going to need 5 to win this game. The Oilers guilty of an icing call down the middle with 64 seconds to play in this second period, and now Nugent-Hopkins, Fogle, and McLeod will be looking at a D-zone draw.
I think I see Leon. I think I see Leon on the bench now, Jack. No, not sure.
Well, it's that kind of riveting update that we look forward to. Well, Nugent Hopkins
don't have the binocs.
Winning the face-off. Hughes throws it across. Zadorov shot blocked. I thought you didn't need binoculars. Here's Garland trying to duck around Nurse. Tried to nudge it in front. That was deflected. Ryan McLeod under pressure from Lindholm. Final 45 seconds of period 2. Ceci fires a pass intended for Nurse. It ends up behind Quinn Hughes. Icing won't be called here as Hughes reels it in. Edmonton makes a change. Holloway, McDavid, and Perry the line sent out by Chris Knobloch. McDavid playing his 700th career game, including the postseason. Up the right-hand side, you've got Vinny Desharnais. And right now, he has the exact same amount of points through 700 games as Mike Bossy did. That's regular season and postseason. Of course, Bossy, a 4-time Cup winner. Dump in. Myers up the right-hand side. Mikheyev able to angle one out to center. And the horn will sound with Edmonton owning a 4-2 lead despite being outshot by a count of 11-4 in that second period. The Oilers were able to saw it off and get 2 goals through Shilovs. They came in a 45-second span. And that offset goals from Lindholm, who banked it in off a Skinner, and Dakota Joshua, who got a friendly hop off the dasher boards. In fact, the Canucks have gotten a couple of good bounces on their goals, and I think, Bob, you probably agree that one of those blasts from Ceci and Ekholm have to be stopped, and we thought the Hyman goal, the second one, was fairly soft as well. So not elite goaltending in Game 1, but Edmonton emerges from 40 minutes of action with a 4-2 lead. Now the concern after this game will ultimately turn to Leon Draisaitl if he does not return, because we've seen him play through one of the most painful injuries you can play with, a high ankle sprain, and he averaged 2 points per game in that 2022 postseason.
Well, he's a tough guy. He's got the pain threshold of a cadaver. Again, the information I got.
He doesn't miss games. I mean, the only game he missed this year was Game 82, and he had to be talked into that one as the Oilers concluded their regular season with a meaningless loss to Colorado.
You know, I have lots of guys that reach out, provide me with information, and are re-watching things, and just watched 29's last 2 shifts, skated gingerly last half of a shift, took more effort to take strides, but the first half of the shift had some hard skating. The last shift he took was under 10 seconds. He just hopped off, and then immediately signaled to the bench, and then it went under with TD right away, and we've not seen him since. He was not on the bench, Jack, in the final 6 minutes of that period officially. So I thought I might have seen him a little bit, but it was not Leon Draisaitl, and that is part of the storyline. Jack, the other part of the storyline here is Edmonton never got a shot after that 4th goal against. We don't know what Shilovs has. Like, they've got 14 shots on goal. They've scored 4 on 14. They got to get some pucks on this guy and make this guy work.
And conversely, Vancouver's probably thinking the same thing.
Vancouver's they're saying, we can take it to the house on these guys around the net. They scored both their goals.
But they've only got 16 shots on that. And they have not been a volume club at all in the postseason.
The Oilers look out of sorts, and it doesn't surprise us because Draisaitl was the best player on the ice in the first period. And they haven't had him since basically the...
But they've still got a 4-2 lead, Bob, so it's lockdown time.
Well, it's lockdown time. Got to play smart. Got to win more. They're getting obliterated in face-offs.
2-1 margin, 24-12 in favor of the Canucks.
And it doesn't help when your 56% face-off man is not available. We'll see what sort of juice the Oilers have here in period number 3.
Hyman with 2 goals, Cody Ceci and Matthias Ekholm with the others, and Edmonton, after leading 2-0 after the first period, now with a 4-2 lead heading to the final 20 minutes. And remember, the Oilers, one of the best third-period clubs all year long, all season long, looking for their first win of this season against the Vancouver Canucks head-to-head. When we come back, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown will have their thoughts on the first 40 and the next 20. It's Edmonton 4, Vancouver 2 in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV, Western Canada's trusted name in Recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off. Select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
CHED Edmonton, the station you turn to in an emergency. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
A Chorus Entertainment radio station.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com.
And click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
Where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Bouchard. On to Zach Hyman, left wing. Takes it to the net, shoots and scores right through Shelovs, and that might be it for Vancouver's starter. Hyman's second of the game, 4-1 Edmonton in game one. Yeah, 2 goals, 45 seconds apart. Big for the Oilers in that period. Hyman has 2 tonight, 9 in the playoffs. Edmonton leading Vancouver 4-2 after 40 minutes. That was your look into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. However, Rob Brown, Vancouver out shooting the Oilers 11-4 in that period, and they certainly showed a response after being down 2-0 after one.
Yeah, the Canucks had a very good period. They are probably sitting a little dumbfounded between periods right now how they're still down 2, because they were by far the better of the 2 teams in the second period. Unfortunately for them, the tough night for Ian Cole has continued. He high sticks a puck that lands on the stick of an Oiler, and then he deflects a puck past his own goaltender in the net. It's been a really tough night for Cole. And then you've got a young, inexperienced goaltender in net for the Vancouver Canucks, and it's shown tonight. There's been 3 pucks that have gone towards the net that he's tried to catch, and he hasn't. It's bounced off his glove. And then the last goal, the goal by Hyman, you want to upset a team better than you can let those goals in. So that could have deflated this Vancouver Canuck team. That could have been the end of the night, but they got better after that. So give them credit. But that was not a strong period, despite what the scoreboard may say for the Edmonton Oilers, is the Vancouver Canucks were the better of the 2 teams.
And a lot of concern about Leon Draisaitl, who went off. Craig Simpson first mentioned it with about 8 minutes left in the period. If people are looking online, there's the bench cam shot of Draisaitl taking about a 10-second shift and immediately returning to the bench.
Well, then there was another one. I don't know if you just saw it. They were showing again. He had a long conversation with the trainer on the bench. He looked twice towards his back. You could see him mouth the word back. I don't know if it's his back or it's somewhere in the back area. But he felt uncomfortable. You saw him take the one shift where he took 2 strides, made a bit of a turn, and then it was just a complete B-turn right back to the bench and down the hallway. So in a night where the Oilers are up 4-2 through 40 minutes in the first game, in which seems like forever, yeah, there's a little bit more concern in Oiler world than there probably would normally be, as their star player, Leon Draisaitl, who I thought was the best player on the ice for the Oilers in the first 20 minutes. He didn't finish the second period, and you wonder if you'll see him in the third. My guess is you won't see him in the third period, no matter where he is health-wise, as the Oilers want to make sure he's better and fully 100% as we go forward in this series and in the playoffs.
Yeah, Sportsnet going through any video clip they can find of a Draisaitl shift in that second period. I mean, they're showing one where he took a shove, not even really a hit. I guess you never know when anything had happened, though he looked okay after that. So we'll see what's going on with Draisaitl. Special teams, Rob, continue to be a huge advantage for the Oilers.
It has, and what you see with the Oilers penalty kill, is it's very aggressive, but it's aggressive because the Oilers are deciding where the Canucks, and last series where the LA Kings, move the puck. They're forcing tonight Quinn Hughes. Okay, we're coming up here. You're going to put it down this side to Pettersson, and we're already going to be attacking there. Okay, we're going to get Miller. Right now we're chasing you, and we know that your only option is to go back this way, and we're already there. The Oilers have done a fantastic job anticipating and creating the turnovers because they're forcing the Canucks to go to where the Oilers want them to go. And the other thing is, too, the Oilers have done a nice job standing up at the blue line, not giving the Canucks easy access. So I know that the Oilers' power play has been fantastic, and it demoralizes a team when every time you take a penalty, you know it's probably going to be a goal against, but it's also completely frustrating. And it's the star players you're frustrating on the other team when they get their cookie time out in the power play and they can't do anything. So this was another great 40 minutes of specialty teams for the Oilers. There's not a lot of specialty teams in this game, but in games that are tight, that's the difference between a one goal win or a 1-goal loss, having the better of the specialty teams. And the Oilers, through 6 games in this playoffs, have been the better of the two teams.
So in that period, Joshua, an early one for Vancouver, Lindholm, a late one for Vancouver, but in between 2 quick ones for the Oilers from Ceci and Hyman, who have a 4-2 lead through 40 minutes. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Canadian Utilities, a subsidiary of Calgary-based holding company ATCO, says it plans to build a new $2 billion natural gas pipeline in Alberta that will supply a massive net zero petrochemical project being built northeast of Edmonton. The pipeline is to supply natural gas to Dow Chemical's $9 billion Path to Zero facility, which is being built near Fort Saskatchewan and billed as the world's first net zero emissions integrated ethylene cracker and derivatives site. The project will include the building of a new hydrogen-fueled ethylene cracker as well as carbon capture and off-site sequestration. Meanwhile, Energy Minister Jonathan Wilkinson is defending carbon capture technology after Edmonton electricity generator Capital Power recently scrapped a $2.4 billion carbon capture system, saying it did not believe the project is economically feasible. Wilkinson says the technology is proven and will get less expensive over time. And London Drugs says it has now reopened all of its stores across Western Canada after a cybersecurity breach on April 28th. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit kepleracademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
4-2 Oilers after 2. Elliot Friedman, a regular on Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer on 6:30 Ched with his takeaways from the playoffs so far.
I think if there's one thing that these playoffs have proven, it's that, and I have to check the overall numbers, but in the series I've covered, the hit numbers seem ridiculously up and the shot totals seem really down. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised, but it is a reminder in the postseason, if you cannot check, you cannot win. And the Canucks check very well. I think the other thing, too, is now that they've kind of gotten, with the possibility of going down the middle with Miller, Pettersson, Lindholm, who's been better, and Teddy Bluger, I think it's a really, really good quadruplet of players. And I think they're very dangerous down there. Look, I think Miller's going to see a lot of McDavid. McDavid can handle anyone, but Miller is a very competitive guy. And I think the thing you can't stop McDavid. It's insane. But to deal with McDavid, you have to have a short memory. You have to recognize that there are times that he's going to embarrass you. There are times he's going to make you look terrible. And Miller has an understanding of how to handle that.
All right, a little bit there from Elliot Friedman as we update the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The other NHL playoff game, Panthers all over the Bruins, 6-1. So that series is tied 1-1. The Oilers leading Vancouver 4-2 after 2, but without Draisaitl for about the second half of that period. Will he be good to go in the third? Jack and Bob will let you know. For Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry. It's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary. And for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Leon Draisaitl has returned to the ice and will remain on the bench for this third period with the Edmonton Oilers leading 4-2 over the Vancouver Canucks. So the 2-goal lead matched next in terms of the good news scenario by Draisaitl's apparent return. McDavid will start this third period back on the line with Hyman, who has scored twice, and Matthias Janmark. Matthias Ekholm with one of the other goals, Cody Ceci the other. Ekholm and Bouchard to start this third period defensively. Ceci's goal, by the way, reminiscent, of course, of the last playoff goal he scored, which was Game 7 against LA back in 22. Turned out to be the only goal that Mike Smith would need in a 2-0 shutout win that's generally regarded as maybe the finest game McDavid's ever played. McDavid sets up Hyman off the draw, and his shot deflected up and out of play by Carson Soucy. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer, welcoming you back inside Rogers Arena in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. 14 seconds into this third period. Game 1 of this best of 7 Western Conference semi, and it's 4-2 Edmonton with Game 2 scheduled Friday night for an 8 Mountain Time start. Face-off win for JT Miller. And I'm told the puck drop will be 8:20 as well for Game 2. That'll be Friday night. Then the series returns to Edmonton. We know Sunday's game time. That's a 7:30 Mountain Time start at Rogers Place. Lead pass for Miller to Suter will be an errant one, and Bouchard back to draw the icing call. And now, coming over the boards will be McLeod, Perry, and Kane.
Interesting. Draisaitl was ready to go.
He's on the bench, but he's not playing as of yet.
Did not play the final 10 minutes of period 2.
Right. So McLeod's going to take this draw. I wonder whether Draisaitl's on the process of trying to talk his way back into the game. Off the draw. Puck forced free for Carson Soucy of the Vancouver Canucks. Skates to center. Hits JT Miller right wing. Miller back to the point. Shot taken and a save made on Zadorov by Stuart Skinner. Rebound Zadorov. Tried to keep it moving to the middle of the ice, but taken away Corey Perry. The outlet for Darnell Nurse. He'll crisscross with Kane and get it in deep. Nurse tried to one-hand it over to Kane, but that'll be intercepted and cleared by Connor Garland. Now Lindholm, who has a goal and an assist in this game for the Canucks, once again showing up against the Edmonton Oilers. McLeod, the outlet. Kane trying to create a 2-on-1 with Fogle. Kane left circle, and shot tipped away at the last moment. Getting into the lane was Ian Cole. Bobbled by Lindholm, and Leon Draisaitl is now on the ice for the Edmonton Oilers. So everyone can exhale for now. Draisaitl fields a pass at center ice. He'll dump it in. Philip Hronek on the puck for Vancouver. Off to Pettersson. Moved up by Hughes to Höglander, and now Skinner out to play that puck for Edmonton. Off the glass, Pettersson will settle it down for Vancouver. To the point, Hronek, Quinn Hughes, snap back, Hronek, right point shot. He was actually trying to hit a cutting Pettersson, but he missed him. And Fogle was able to clear successfully back through the middle. Hronek will give it up and get it back from Ilya Mikheyev. 2 1/4 having elapsed here in this third period. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 2. Pettersson with a bobble at the Edmonton line. It's just not been going for him the last 6 weeks.
Let's hope it stays that way for Oilers Partisans.
Up the right-hand side. Pettersson makes sure of a dump in. Nurse up the left-hand side for Holloway. Brushed back towards center. Brown had it chopped away by Soucy. Now Ceci will jump up from the play. Derek Ryan, he goes back to Ceci. Maybe it's a better opportunity. But here it's knifed wide by Connor Brown, and Bluger is able to chip it up the left-hand side, and they'll wave off icing. I'm not sure why. Nurse will collect for Edmonton. I think if Ryan goes to Ceci there, it's a much better play. Too much traffic to his left.
Shoot the puck, Jack.
Shoot it, yeah.
They don't have a shot here. They got 14 shots on goal. You beat this guy 4 times. You get one more in him, and the building will get deflated.
Canucks guilty of an icing call, and Edmonton an offensive zone draw. As it is, for the most part, the Oilers have kept the crowd out of this game.
Well,
2 goals in 45 seconds in the second period made sure of that.
Early power play goal, get the game going, too.
Right. Too many men on the ice. I mean, Vancouver started this series in the exact opposite way in which it intended.
And that's after the officials gave JT Miller a break there. because he was water skiing off the Oilers, Connor McDavid, and tackled him on the play. Darren A got away with a slash. You'd probably say there could have been an extra power play each way in this hockey game. What's going on with Miller here? Is he on the ice or not?
Well, the officials disagreed. Kazari and Raymond came over to confer, and now Miller returns to the ice. And he'll take the draw. He's out there with Suter and Besser, his normal line mates. Offensive zone draw for Edmonton. McDavid's going to be chased out of the dot, replaced by Janmark.
Ryan's been too involved in this game.
Face-off win for Miller. Zadorov whipped it up the boards for Besser, who turned it over, but because everyone had vacated there, that's an offside whistled against Edmonton. McDavid was out of the zone, or McDavid was in the zone, Hyman was out of the zone. And when Hyman joined the play and touched the puck, it became offside. If McDavid had kept possession there, it would have been a legal play. Now it's going to be a center ice face-off. Hyman would have just had to eventually tag back up. Miller beaten off the draw by McDavid. The puck ends up in the Edmonton zone, and Bouchard on a reset. Matthias Ekholm up the left-hand side. Matthias Janmark gets it in deep.
A lot of rubs.
Turned over by Shelovs. Zach Hyman back on the puck for the Oilers. 2 goals tonight, 8 in the playoffs. At 54 during the regular season. Janmark kept the play alive in front of Shelovs. McDavid out to Bouchard. Slide step to his right. Returned it to his captain. Janmark able to contain. Ekholm gives it back to Janmark on the right side. Hughes might have pulled Janmark down. Nothing was called. The Oilers
4-2 non-call, Jack.
Yeah, I thought that was very close. Hughes with a pass up the middle. Mikheyev sent into the corner by Skinner. Mikheyev can't maintain. Hughes kept it in. Now it's offside against Vancouver, so tagging back up as Höglander. Kyle Murchison, you could probably hear it, screaming offside. And Ekholm was able to amble his way up to center ice and slam it in deep. Leon Draisaitl back on the ice, defending against Tyler Myers, who could not clear it past him on the right-hand side. Now Fogle able to hunt the puck down, create for Nugent Hopkins. From off the goal line, it's Desharnais, who walloped one wide. Rebound came off the boards. Höglander did not get it out. Sent back toward Fogle by Draisaitl. Fogle had it kicked away by Myers, and Mikheyev able to collect for Vancouver. Canucks right to left. Pettersson one-handed it toward the Edmonton blue line. Kulak watched Pettersson turn it back over, and now Corey Perry. 1-on-2 into the corner. Steered by Soucy over to Dakota Joshua, who, like Lindholm, has a goal and an assist in tonight's game. Soucy, a high flip through the middle of the ice. Nurse unable to play it cleanly over to Ceci. Got it back from his partner, and this time finds Evander Kane for an outlet up the middle. Ryan McLeod will shoot it in. Lane, McLeod, and Perry in on the forecheck. Perry caught Cole with a glancing blow. He's able to shake that off, take a hard check from Kane, and make a play up to Elias Lindholm. Snapshot and a save made by Skinner. That had a lot of mustard on it. Thrown in front. Skinner able to defend and keep the puck out of the net. Garland can't get a third crack at it, and Evander Kane clears back to center. Cole rink wide to Lindholm in front of the Canucks bench.
Line's going to have to dig in, Jack.
Zadorov on a reload for Vancouver. Crowd trying to urge the Canucks back into this game. Skinner playing it carefully. Up the boards, but not out. Quinn Hughes able to cut it off. High slot, wrist shot, wow. Scored 17 after just 7 a year ago. This time Edmonton guilty of icing as Holloway can't get around Hughes. 13:45 to play in the third period. And it's another offensive zone draw coming for the Vancouver Canucks as they're starting to gain some momentum here in the third period. They've outshot the Oilers 20-14. In fact, the Oilers do not have a shot on net in the first 6 minutes and 15 seconds of this third period.
I don't think they've had a shot on goal for the last 12 minutes of this game, Jack.
Miller against Derek Ryan. Well, since the 2 went in. CC and Hyman. So, yeah, I mean, you're 12, 13 minutes. Right on point with that remark. Besser to Miller. Challenged by Connor Brown. Brown calls for a line change. Miller up to Pius-Suter. Well defended by Ekholm. Prying the puck loose, but Bouchard turned it over. Now Miller left circle. Snapped it wide. Ekholm made the play, and then Bouchard gave it right back. Ekholm back on the puck, and he's able to launch down the middle of the ice. Hyman backs his way in against Ronick. Gives it up for McDavid. Plows his way through traffic and eventually forced it free for Janmark. Circling to the point. A shot. Desharnais just floated wide. Rebound. McDavid tried to curl it in front for Janmark. Well defended by Suter. Brock Besser, left wing, will shoot it in from center. Pettersson trying to finish his check against Kulak, who bodied him up nicely, shielding him from the puck and allowing Desharnais to make an outlet to Janmark. He'll scoop it inside the Canucks blue line. Retrieved by Mikheyev with 12 and a half to go in the third period. Mikheyev weaving his way towards center. Nugent Hopkins ahead for Leon Draisaitl. Gingerly in from the right-hand side. Myers up the right-hand side. I don't think there's any question Draisaitl is slightly compromised out there.
There's no question.
Edmonton's Darnell Nurse lifting it back through center.
That might be why Fogel's on this line instead of Kane. Just a little bit more speed.
Draisaitl bumped around, got an extra shot from Zadorov, and they exchanged shivers, and they're going to send them both off. Zadorov came over, gave Draisaitl a cross-check, and Draisaitl responded in kind, and they're both going to be sent off here. And that's clearly Zadorov trying to test out whatever he believes might be ailing Leon Draisaitl. So Zadorov indeed whistled for a 2-minute cross-check. Draisaitl got a slash, and Chris Knobloch, I think, is uncharacteristically a little upset on the Oiler bench.
Well, they haven't called any. Vancouver's been chopping and hitting late a lot here, Jack.
12:01 to play in the third period. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 2. This is game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. The Oilers Radio Network.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And I'm Zach Hyman.
And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes
or having my goals disallowed,
we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You know, guys used to call me a plumber.
And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
So Draisaitl and Zadorov sent off 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes. 12 to play in regulation. Edmonton leads game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal. 4-2. Oilers have never trailed. Hyman and Ekholm put Edmonton ahead 2-0 after 1. Joshua and Lindholm scored for Vancouver in the second period, but in between, Ceci and Hyman scored in a 45-second span. So Hyman's got a pair tonight. McDavid beaten off the draw by JT Miller. It's been a good night for Vancouver in the face-off circle, but the Canucks have trailed for all but 2 minutes of this game. Up the right-hand side, Miller tried to find an activating Philip Ronick. Ekholm came over to make the steal. Bouchard ahead for McDavid. A diving Pettersson knocked it away. Terrific effort by Pettersson. Otherwise, McDavid would have had a partial break. It's whirled around the boards, and Ekholm will track it down. I think it's tailing here in a 4-on-4 that it's not McDavid and Draisaitl, right?
Well, Leon, of course, as you know, Jack, he's in the box.
He's in the box.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying, though, is I think there's going to be sparing use of Draisaitl down the stretch here, if at all possible.
100%. Every chance they can get to get sticks and chops in on Connor and Leon, they are, and the officials have not called any of them in this game.
Well, and if I'm the Oilers, I'm mindful of that. Here's McLeod to Nugent Hopkins. What a look by McLeod, and that short side pass was fired off the outside of the right post by Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers still don't have a shot in this period. And we're more than 9 minutes into it. Hughes up through center. Gets it back from Connor Garland. 4-2 Edmonton. Beautiful short side look by Ryan McLeod off a simple dump in. And Nugent Hopkins unable to finish. Elias Lindholm to Carson Soucy. Right wing, Brock Besser. In over the Oiler line. Nurse and McDavid defend on that side. Nurse had a chance to get it out and did not. Turned it over. Here's a shot from the corner by Besser. It's wide. Soucy gives Besser another opportunity to Miller down low. Redirect and home. 4-3, and the failed clear leads to a Canuck goal. What a redirect by J.T. Miller, and the Canucks are within one. 10:22 remaining.
Darnell Nurse having a tough night, Jack. I don't want to pick on a pairing, but they've been on the ice for all 3 goals against, and they're all around the net. Right after Nugent Hopkins missed a tap-in on a real good short side play. Not a tap-in, but a good opportunity. And then Darnell, J.T. Miller with a real good deflection. That's a nice play. But he had the chance to clear. What did Rick talk about before the game? Got to get pucks out. Edmonton didn't.
And that stick of Nurse might have helped elevate that puck over Stuart Skinner.
That pairing is not. I know CC scored. They're having a rough game.
4-3. Well, Nurse and McDavid had that defended. It was 1-on-2 on that side.
Can't happen.
And Nurse inadvertently put it back into traffic. Here's Nugent Hopkins, right-hand side for Kulak. Checked by Pettersson. Here's Nugent Hopkins with the crowd as loud as it's been since the beginning of the hockey game. Pettersson in over the line. Play would have been offside. Draisaitl's back on the ice as the 4-on-4 comes to a close. Sent in deep. Chilovs sees it reversed by Myers to Quinn Hughes. Up the left-hand side. Bouchard able to cut it off. Carson Soucy with a couple of assists tonight. And now a whistle away from the action.
It's on Edmonton.
Tripping.
Well, Rick Tocchet has won the gamesmanship battle early here. He sent the message when they won. It's got to be a 5.
Want to play this series 5-on-5. Holloway to the box.
They've gotten away with lots tonight, Jack. And they've called 2 pretty iffy calls against Brown and Holloway in this game.
We've got to take a break. 9:32 to play in the third period. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 3. The Canucks will be looking for the equalizer when we come back with a Vancouver power play from Rogers Arena. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. from Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
9.5 to play, third period. Edmonton 4, Vancouver 3. Dylan Holloway in the box for tripping, and the Canucks down 4-1 at one point. Well, Edmonton has not had a shot on net in the subsequent 18 minutes, and now the Canucks can tie it on the power play. Off the draw, it's across to Miller. One-timer, and Hughes' shot stays out. Oilers Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. Janmark and Nugent Hopkins joined by Desharnais and Ekholm. Desharnais powering the puck, but not out. Hughes over to Pettersson. And he fumbled it away. He's been fighting the puck for the better part of 6 weeks. Sent around the boards by Besser to JT Miller. On to Hughes. Miller, left circle, snapshot, blocker to the corner by Stuart Skinner. Miller tried to put it around the boards to Pettersson. That was intercepted. Good read by Matthias Ekholm. And he'll drive it down the left-hand side. Oilers have scored 4 goals on 14 shots tonight. Vancouver 3 on 22. Lead pass, Hughes. Trying to hit Miller. It went off his stick. Hughes was able to grab the puck and turn it back to Pettersson. Now Hughes. Pettersson changes places with Besser. Hughes across, open man, wrist shot save on Lindholm by Stuart Skinner, holding sway against Lindholm, who's inside the right faceoff dot. A good look halfway through the power play. It remains 4-3 Edmonton with 8:33 remaining in regulation.
And right now, with Leon Draisaitl hurting a bit, Nugent Hopkins is being relied upon more to take faceoffs in the D zone on the PK.
Well, because if Draisaitl's tender, you don't want to put him in a position where he's got to muscle up on draws, right?
No. 100%.
Nugent Hopkins on the face-off against Lindholm. Janmark in the slot defending Besser. Lindholm pulled it back. Hughes saucered it across to JT Miller, left circle. Canucks looking for the equalizer. Hughes to Pettersson. One-timer isn't there. Pettersson waits, flipped it back, tough pass. Hughes unable to keep it in the zone. Whacked back toward the blue line by Janmark. Hughes trying to shrug him off. Triple team, coughed it up, and Nugent Hopkins with a length of the ice clear. Excellent work by Janmark and Nugent Hopkins that time. Hughes quarterbacking, receives from Shelovs, gets it back from Pettersson to JT Miller, hugging the left half boards. Now it's Hughes. Under duress from Ceci. Threw it around the boards. Pettersson dashing over. McLeod makes certain of a clear to center. And now a reload for Brock Besser. That first power play unit out for nearly the entire 2 minutes for Vancouver. And the Canucks are 0 for 3 on the man advantage. Edmonton 1 for 1. And right now, that's the difference in the hockey game. Here's Soucy. Coming up through center as Holloway is out of the box. Edmonton back at full strength with 7.5 to go, and Draisaitl back on. Backhand flip around the boards. What a play he made. Zach Hyman skates into it to the net with a backhander redirected. McDavid tried to give it back to Hyman. Finally, Draisaitl re-enters the zone. Draisaitl can really, it doesn't look like he's anything but upright right now, Bob. Doesn't look like he can really bend at the west. The Canucks kind of threw the puck out of their own zone.
Can't do that.
Yeah, it looked like a closed fist around the puck as opposed to a midair bat. But they got away with it. And Höglander on the puck for the Canucks will chip it up the right-hand side. Ekholm in front of the 2 player benches had a deflection off Höglander come back to him.
The Oilers are not happy with Steve Kazari tonight.
Look at Draisaitl getting over the boards. He kind of almost puts himself over as you would in the old days of
wrestling.
I was going to say the vault, where the high bar before the Fosbury flop was invented.
You're going back a few centuries.
Chipped up the left-hand side. Not that far, about when you were born, I believe. One-timer ripped and scored by Zadorov, and the Canucks have come all the way back. A 4-4 tie. Just a simple drop pass, and Zadorov blasts one home from a couple strides inside the blue line. And this game is tied at 4 with 6:13 to play.
Well, the Oilers have made it easy. They don't have a shot on goal in Shelovs. Shelovs here, Jack.
20 minutes.
20 minutes of this game.
Just teed it up and ripped it by Skinner, glove side. Zadorov, 6 goals during the regular season. That's his 7th career playoff goal and the 3rd of this run for the Canucks.
2 additions for the Calgary Flames. Rare when you see interdivisional trades. And Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin, they took the Calgary Flames to the woodshed on those 2 deals.
And Zadorov. Chipped in by Ian Cole. Luger with the primary helper on that drive by Zadorov that appeared to beat Skinner cleanly, glove side. Ceci will knock it into the zone for Edmonton. Fogle checked hard by Ian Cole. Zadorov up the right-hand side. Draisaitl back on the puck. And back on a line with Nugent Hopkins and Fogle. Carefully, Zadorov with the puck. Up the middle. Joshua to Connor Garland. Fakes the drive. Slid it through Skinner. And the Canucks had their first lead at 5-4. Fake the slapper and then beat Skinner with a wrist shot. And the Canucks have turned a 4-1 deficit late in the second period into a 5-4 lead.
Well, we talked about the end of the second. Edmonton needed to be up by 2. Give Vancouver credit. And we are watching a pairing have an absolutely brutal night defensively, and they're picking them apart. To the point that I don't know if they can keep playing the 2 together, Nurse and Ceci. They might have to split those guys up. Oilers are going to load up McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman here. Not a great goal for Stuart Skinner.
5.5 to play in the third period. Face-off win for Miller. Myers to Besser, and it's worked up the right-hand side. Garland from Joshua and Zadorov. And another 3-point night in a game 1 for Dakota Joshua. Draisaitl a strike to Ekholm. Checking his Soucy. Got it off the boards, not out of the zone. Flipped by Pius Suter, did not get it out. McDavid finds Zach Hyman, left half boards, trying to get by Tyler Myers, does so, curls it to Draisaitl, deep in the right corner, over to McDavid, right circle, waiting, dishing, and poked out of the zone. What a read by Miller. So Zadorov with a goal and an assist, 2 goals in 39 seconds for the Canucks. The Oilers on a reload after a Vancouver dump-in. Höglander, his first point of the series came on the tying goal by Zadorov. Edmonton dumps it in. McLeod got it to Holloway, but his centering pass went off a skate, and Quinn Hughes will fire it in from the red line. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third. Looked like a hold that time on Holloway, but no penalty was called. A pass through the wickets of McLeod, and that's an icing call against Edmonton. With 4:13 to go in the third period, Holloway clearly thrown off stride, and now the Canucks will get an offensive zone draw, suddenly protecting a lead with the 2 goals in 39 seconds. 4 unanswered for Vancouver. And Bob, you and I haven't seen this since Game 3 of the Winnipeg series 3 years ago.
Yeah.
When the Oilers coughed up a 4-1 third period lead.
And Darnell Nurse was a different player at that time. He was playing more. He was playing 25 minutes a game.
McLeod wins the face-off from Lindholm. Here's Kulak up the left-hand side. Holloway. McLeod drops a Kane, a shot. Save Shelovs. Rebound loose. And Joshua able to pull it out of the pile. Chips it smartly back to center. Now Kulak up the left-hand side, off a Kane and out of play into the Vancouver bench. 3:55 to go in the third. And for the first time since prior to the game, this crowd is on its feet. 19,000 waving the white towels. The Oilers have 4 minutes to live in Game 1. They trail 5-4. Vancouver with 4 unanswered, including 3 in this third period in a span of less than 5 minutes. 5-4 Vancouver, Game 1 of the Western Conference Semi continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall,
From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian, Ultra, XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers just recorded their first shot on goal. It was Evander Kane in nearly 23 minutes. 22 minutes, 44 seconds, according to our Reed Wilkins. And it's 5-4 Vancouver. Edmonton's got to ratchet up the shot output right now. Draisaitl out there with McDavid and Hyman. Ekholm and Bouchard. Edmonton's 5 best out there. Soucy clears. Draisaitl fell down. I mean, he's pretty compromised. He's trying to gut it out, but he's going to have to come off. Draisaitl does so as the Canucks thrust it down deep. Here's Bouchard off to McDavid. One touch on to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He'll shoot it in. Shelovs to Soucy up the left-hand side. Batted down out of midair and out. Soucy, a good play. And now the hard-working Mikheyev up against Matthias Ekholm as we come up on 3 minutes left in regulation. Vancouver 5, Edmonton 4. The Oilers now in search of the equalizer. They led for the first, they led for a sequence of basically 50 minutes. Here's Fogle driving in from the right-hand side. A hard backhander sails wide. Rebound Nurse. His shot floats wide against Shelovs, who's faced only one shot here in this third period. Luger to Joshua. Nugent-Hopkins could not control a pass from Ceci, and it's Cole wiring it up the right-hand side. Joshua gives way to Pettersson, who shovels it down deep, and Skinner to knock it down. 2.5 to play. McLeod fell down. Nurse on the puck, jammed it up the boards. Perry had it and lost it. Perry tries the right-hand side, and McLeod punches it forward against Quinn Hughes. He's got the puck. Cody Ceci shot from the point. Weird bounce off the stanchion, and Lindholm was the first to recognize and send it skipping through the middle. How is this not going to be icing? There's the call. I thought they weren't going to call it. Murchison didn't look like he was going to. Now he will with 2:09 to play in the third, and Corey Perry is informing Kyle Raymond, one of the two referees, exactly who should be on the ice. Tocchet is furious at the icing call.
Well, Tocchet's got a lot of calls in this game. Skinner's out. They're pulling the goalie.
They've got 6 skaters out with McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nugent-Hopkins, Ekholm, and Bouchard.
Only won 36% of the draws. Leon's going to take it, and he's been hurting for certain. Missed 10 straight minutes to conclude the second period. And that's where the momentum swung in this game, Jack. Oilers with 1 shot on goal in the last 28 minutes of this hockey game.
2:09 left in the third. Crowd in an uproar. Miller off the draw. Won it, but McDavid's first on it. Net is empty. 6-on-5. Here's Ekholm left point to Bouchard. The Oilers trail 5-4. Leon Draisaitl with control. Right circle. Minute 55. Goal line. And Nugent-Hopkins just missed McDavid. That caroms off the corner boards and out to center ice. He had him. That play was there. Bouchard. Draisaitl one touch on to Hyman. He'll get it in deep. Tyler Myers bulldozed by McDavid. Puck in his feet. Myers can't find it. Hyman does. Twirls it around the boards. Besser dashes over. Could not slash it out of the zone. Poke between the wickets. of Hyman, and now Leon Draisaitl. Red circle cross ice tipped away by Miller. Great read by Miller. He saw Nugent Hopkins perched deep in the left circle, and with 1:27 to go in the third, this enables Vancouver to change. Remember, the Canucks had been whistled for that icing, so they're able to get some fresh charges on the ice with 1:27 to play. Edmonton will stick with...
Now you take the timeout. No, hold on,
McLeod came on. This is Chris Knobloch buying some time here, and now
gotta win a draw.
The Oilers will keep it moving. Same six out there, net empty. Off the face-off, Lindholm beaten cleanly. Off the draw by Draisaitl. Ekholm high slot. Bouchard looking for the tie. 1:20 to go. Nugent Hopkins left corner. Checked by Lindholm. Canucks lead at 5-4, and they come up with a puck. Pettersson shovels it down the ice. Big bounce. It'll die right in front of the Edmonton net. Collected by Bouchard. 1 minute, 5 seconds to go. Here come the Oilers left to right. Hyman had it knocked out of the zone. Ekholm had it. Got it to Nugent Hopkins. Less than a minute to play. Down the stretch in Vancouver. Hyman charging to the net. Centering pass. And that just missed. Vancouver trying to clear. Bouchard knocked it down. McDavid to the slot. Mishandled by Nugent Hopkins. Zadorov defending. Nugent Hopkins left circle. Back to Ekholm. 40 seconds to play. 5-4 Vancouver. Bouchard shot. Save Sheelovs. Rebound. Big shot by Pettersson. Did not get it out. Bouchard able to hold on. Pettersson unable to get it from Nugent Hopkins. Zadorov high flip off the boards. Taken by Bouchard. 20 seconds to play. McDavid backs in on Rodick. Powers dishes. Shot. Ekholm block. Rebound. Hyman in front. Steer to the corner. 15 seconds to play. Bouchard one-timer. Draisaitl save made. Sheelovs. Big bounce. Miller can't get it out. Nugent Hopkins. Ekholm 5-second shot blocked. Rebound. Draisaitl 2 seconds. Ekholm at the horn. Deflected away. And the Canucks hang on for a 5-4 victory on home ice in Game 1 of this Western Conference semifinal. A frenetic finish. The Oilers gutted, having seen a 4-1 lead evaporate. Vancouver selling out, shot blocking, and ultimately permitting the Oilers just 2 shots over the final 27 minutes of regulation. They turn a 4-1 deficit with 23 minutes left in this hockey game into a most unlikely 5-4 win over the Edmonton Oilers. They take the opener, and they lead the best-of-7 series 1-0. And now 5 games have been played between these two teams this year, and Vancouver's won all 5.
Well, you know, the first 2 games here, we talked about the fact that the team needed to get some more saves. I got news for you tonight, Jack. Edmonton needed a couple more saves tonight. You know, you take a look at who got the Oilers. It wasn't Pettersson. Miller made the real nice deflection. Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci had a real tough game, 5-on-5, 4-on-4. The Oilers, by my count, gave away 2 goals. Just in terms of puck handling miscues, defensively, under duress. And you got to give the Canucks full credit. They came back, they battled back.
This crowd was dead. I mean, it was 4-1 late second.
It was 4-2, and Nugent Hopkins hits the post on the short side, 4-on-4 attempt on the ice.
And then you have a routine clear to get out of the zone. You turn it over.
With Nurse and Connor McDavid, Connor this was not one of his better performances. We have to be concerned about Leon. He did not.
He gutted it out. I mean, he could barely climb over the boards to change.
At the end of the day, they got outplayed badly in the final 25 minutes of this hockey game.
What's our 50-50 at, by the way? Before we get too much farther, we need to sneak in one more read here. It's part of our 50-50 jackpot. It's coming up on $1 million. And you've got another... Let's see. Well, we're past 10 o'clock. So the early bird prizes, of course, tonight were $5,000 and $15,000. Check it out each and every game night in support of the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation, Food Banks Alberta, and the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation. Now back to the game. A 4-1 lead dissipates into a 5-4 loss. Bob, will there be an emotional element to to the Oilers recovering to get a split in Vancouver, because they have to be thinking right now in their locker room, we absolutely handed that one over.
Well, they did hand the game over. They blew that game.
So does that play, do you have to get through that mentally as much as physically in terms of recovery?
Didn't like how they played. Now, they got to start. Ken Holland needs to start with the gamesmanship right now. When he's sitting there meeting with the series supervisor, he's got to say what the blank was going on here. They had one power play the entire game.
Early in the game. And it was a too many men on the ice.
It's an automatic call.
Yeah.
There were multiple reaches, slashes, hooks, not called. The call on Brown, the call on Holloway.
I thought Holloway drew 2 tonight.
And he couldn't get a call. Rick Tocchet worked the lead before this game ever started when he put
One of the series played 5-5.
Well, they got their wish. You could bet on it. They got their wish. And the bottom line is the Oilers are going to have to have a conversation. It's not in the nature of Chris Knobloch, but they...
And just so people don't misinterpret what you're saying, you're not criticizing Rick Tocchet. That's part of the series.
Part of gamesmanship. Yeah. And now the Oilers got to show some gamesmanship back. You got to give the Canucks weren't scoring. Jack, 24th in the league in goals for since the All-Star break.
Bob, they scored 13 goals in a 6-game series and won it.
Stuart Skinner bounced back against Los Angeles after a poor start in a game that,
in game 2.
In game 2, he needs to bounce back here on Friday night. You come back with Skinner, but the Oilers got to have a lot more dialed in, and they need Nurse and Ceci to play better today. They were hesitant all over every time they were out there. Just go. That's what Ekholm does. Ekholm goes. You want to know how many goals on the ice Nurse and Ceci were on for tonight in this game? Wasn't pretty.
Bob, do you think Adam Henrique will try to talk his way into the lineup for Game 2 now that the Oilers have lost Game 1? He was kind of a borderline situation heading into the first 2 games of this series. Does the Oilers' loss change what the plan might be for a guy like Adam Henrique who's close?
They've already got one guy compromised in Draisaitl. We need to find out what exactly is going on from him. He did take a cross check to the back. Did he end up spasming? Is that what ended up happening? Sometimes you feel...
And then Zadorov went after him, and that resulted in the 4-on-4.
They went after Connor and Leon and Edmonton's skill guys all game, and they got away with it. There was no call. This is where the league sits there. They want to have the NBA numbers, but the NBA protects their star players, and the NHL doesn't protect their star players. It's it's the opposite of what used to happen here at the Sedins. Like the Sedins were classy guys, right? And they played through the crap, and they were often criticized. I mean, you had dummy meatheads out there that would sit there and make differential comments about the Sedins. McDavid and Draisaitl are different animals, but man, oh man, like at some point you do think maybe the best players to draw a call once in a while, and there were lots of opportunities in this game to do it, by the way. So the only power play Edmonton got was an automatic call. They touched the puck, too many men on the ice. So
regardless of the penalties, how much of not a distraction maybe is the wrong word, but Leon Draisaitl being injured as a player on that bench, was that also a bit of a turning point?
I thought Nugent Hopkins played pretty good, stepped up for him. Yeah. But the Oilers need some more guys. They need Fogle and McLeod to come now. In fairness, McLeod made a real nice play, short side attempt that hit the post.
And Nugent Hopkins hit the post. He had a couple of assists in the game, but Corey Perry, Vander Kane.
Okay, let's cut the chase here. Number 1, the goalie's got to stop more pucks. It starts. Number 2, Nurse and Ceci can't be -3 each in a hockey game. Okay, that's number 2. And number 3, Edmonton needs more guys up front pushing, and they got to play. I'll give Vancouver credit. They played an assertive style, and they got to an Oilers pairing that wasn't asserting themselves on the ice, and they got dominated. And there were some bad 5-on-5 numbers in the LA series as that went on too. After a real strong performance from Ceci and Nurse in game number 3, it tailed off in the back half of game 4 and parlayed itself into game 5. So we'll see, but it starts in goal. Skinner's simply got to make more saves. I mean, they scored on. Now, the Oilers did not have a lot of great scoring opportunities in a hockey game, Jack.
Well, especially in the last 23 minutes.
Jack,
Vancouver sold out.
I think it was 5-1 in high danger scoring chances through 2 periods. The Oilers have 1 in the third. So Edmonton goalie has to play better. One of the deep pairings got to play a lot better. They got to get more support throughout the lineup.
Final thought from you concerning Game 2. Because of the way in which Edmonton lost Game 1, usually I'd say, a series doesn't start until the home team loses a game. But The way this went down tonight, does it magnify the importance of Game 2 in terms of, does Edmonton feel that much worse if they go down 2-0 knowing they handed over Game 1? Is Game 2 more important because of the way this one went down tonight?
We're at the stage here where you're starting to wonder, can you beat this team? And if you're Rick Tocchet, you got a captive audience of a group that were collectively losers for 7 of the previous 8 years, didn't make the playoffs. The one time they made the playoffs was in the bubble in a fluke year. He's got these guys. He's a good coach. He's going to win Coach of the Year. This guy might win Coach of the Year in a couple of years from Edmonton. But right now you got one team full of confidence that they can come back at any time and that they can score a will in the Oilers. And you got another team right now that's wobbling a bit. But this is, if the Oilers are to win it this year, this is the chapter one of the chapters in the book where they sit there and recalibrate. You're not going to win every night. Several of Edmonton's top players did not have a strong performance tonight. The Oilers wilted a bit as this one went on, and we got to see how Edmonton responds. Did I answer your question? I don't think I did.
No, you did pretty well. 19 goals against in the 3 games that have been played in this building for the Edmonton Oilers, and tonight, 4 unanswered Vancouver goals in the last 23 minutes of regulation. The Oilers went nearly 23 minutes without a shot on goal tonight, and thus, despite 2 goals from Zach Hyman, 2 assists from Leon Draisaitl, and 2 more from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the Oilers come up with a 5-4 loss. Stuart Skinner will be charged with it as he stops 19 of 24 tonight. Meanwhile, Archer Shilovs did not have a great game. They're going to add on a couple of more shots here as we kind of wrap it up. 4 shots now credited for Edmonton in each of the last 2 periods, 18 for the game. So Shilovs officially 14 saves on 18 shots. It's enough tonight. And Vancouver getting some timely efforts. Dakota Joshua's second 3-point game of the playoffs. Carson Soucy had a couple of helpers. Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov each with a goal and an assist. And it all adds up to a thrilling comeback for Vancouver. Final score 5-4. Zadorov and Garland turn a 4-3 deficit into an eventual 5-4 victory with 2 goals in a span of 39 seconds. So with that, Game 1 is complete. And Rick Tocchet and the Vancouver Canucks lead this best-of-7 series 1-0. We'll play Game 2 on Friday night, and we'll have that puck dropped for you at 8:20 Mountain Time. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers Arena. Once again, the final score, the Vancouver Canucks 5, the Edmonton Oilers 4, Game 1 to Vancouver, Game 2 Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers Postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame Show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Bouchard on to Zach Hyman, left wing. Takes it to the net, shoots and scores right through Shilovs, and that might be it for Vancouver's starter. Hyman's second of the game, 4-1 Edmonton in Game 1.
There you go. That's a Century Casino highlight zone. All in, all games, all season. Century Casino's 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winter zone. The problem for the Edmonton Oilers is they didn't get another shot on Artur's Shilovs for 22 minutes and 43 seconds. And as a result of that, the Canucks worked their way back in the game from a 4-1 deficit, scored 4 unanswered goals. And this is a loss. Jack and me have had a couple of these. Think back to Winnipeg in the bubble, up 4-1 in that game, and more specifically, if you can turn Jack's mic down, thank you very much, Tyler. The game in Anaheim with the Oilers blew a 3-0 lead. And ultimate end result, the Oilers blow Game 1 of this series. Final score 5-4. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Came back to Hughes as the Oilers choked it off, and now Hronik trying to free himself from McDavid does, and it's a breakaway for Connor Garland. In on Skinner, backhander denied. Stuart Skinner with a mammoth save to start the series.
Yes, indeed. That was a big save for Skinner. Unfortunately, there were not a lot of other ones. Come crunch time, that's the save of the game, and it is brought to you by our friends at Access Insurance. Alberta oil field and construction contractors can count on huge saves. When they need it the most, visit AccessInsuranceGroup.com. The Edmonton Oilers blow a 4-1 lead. They lose 5-4 in Vancouver. Let's bring a border inside the game analyst, Rob Brown. Your thoughts?
Well, it's a game that at the end of the night, the better team won. The Canucks were the better team through the whole of 60 minutes. The Oilers had a good stretch in the first period. But after that, they fell asleep. They got the lead. I mean, the second period, they scored a couple goals. They didn't play a good second period. They were gifted a couple goals in the period. I think they lacked the desperation that the Canucks brought once they were down 3 goals. So I think, as you and Jack alluded to, this is a game that they're going to be sitting here for the next 48 hours till they play again thinking, okay, what did we do wrong? We had this game completely in control. We had quieted the crowd in Vancouver. Everything was going our way. Where did we go wrong? Well, video is going to show where they went wrong is they just sat back. And the Canucks became the more aggressive team. They became the better team. And the Oilers played against a goaltender that looked like he had zero confidence that he was going to stop a puck. And they went 23 minutes without a shot. That's one where you shoot from center. If you look up and you haven't had a shot in 5 minutes, the next time you go on the ice, you take a slap shot from anywhere on the ice, center, outside the blue line, because you have a goaltender that had really struggled in this game. So this was a game that the Oilers this was not their best effort. And it starts, Connor didn't have a good game. The first the pairing of Nurse and Ceci didn't.
Second pairing now.
The second pairing. Yes. Skinner didn't have a good game. I mean, probably only a handful. You can say Leon Ekholm, Hyman played really strong, but other than that, it was not the effort that the Oilers wanted, needed, and I think this is also a wake-up call. This Canuck team is good, and you and I talked about it, and Jack talked about it before the game. They're good. They are a much better team than the LA Kings, and the difference between them and LA, they are aggressive. They will forecheck, and they have guys that can finish. And I think that's what LA lacked. And the Vancouver Canucks don't. The Oilers, it just was not a good enough effort in Game 1 for the Edmonton Oilers.
100% agree. Obviously, you're coming back from Skinner, Nurse and Ceci on the ice for 4 against, and they were, Rob, to me, they seemed passive. They were soft around the net. You know what? They let a ton go. Like, if you're in the building behind the scenes, they were picking and angling guys off the entire game. The salvo from Tocchet, right? We need this series played 5-on-5, yada, yada, yada. I mean, the Connor Brown penalty, the Holloway penalty, come on, man. That stuff was happening every shift. But at the end of the day, because Vancouver was the more assertive team, they got more calls as well.
Well, I mean, that's playoff hockey. Any game that you watch right now in the playoffs, there's probably, as an armchair referee, could probably call 7 or 8 per period. And the Vancouver Canucks are going to say, well, Hyman ran Hughes headfirst into the boards. There was no call there. The Oilers have got to be better 5-on-5. And there was a lot of talk in the LA Kings series that the Oilers were not as good 5-on-5 as they would need to be going forward. Because the teams get better. Vancouver's better. Whoever comes out of this series and plays Dallas and Colorado, they're better.
They would have been beaten 9-3 tonight by Colorado.
Oh, 100%. And the thing that the Oilers did not take advantage of, again, the how do you say the Vancouver Canuck goaltender's name again? Shelovs had a very, very off night tonight. He couldn't catch routine pop-ups that were coming in. And the Oilers didn't take advantage of that. So this is a game where you would imagine their goaltender is going to be better next game. But what this really does too, all the talk in this series was the Oilers were going to win. And how many games? Was it going to be 4? Was it going to be 5?
Come on.
There's a lot of talk.
Nobody realistically thought they were going to win in a 4-game sweep or in 5 games.
There's a lot of people that thought they would win it in 4. And the Vancouver Canucks now have belief. That, to me, I said before the game, this game was much more important to the Vancouver Canucks than it was to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, the pressure goes on to Edmonton. Game 2, now there's more pressure on Edmonton. They do not want to go home down 2-0. They know that their effort can be better, and I expect it to be better. Skinner will be better in that game. McDavid will be better. The only concern, well, there's a few concerns, but the one big concern is the health of Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, how compromised is he? Yep.
Well, and it was noticeable. I mean, he was the best player in the first period. He was excellent. And as you were saying earlier, he's a playoff performer. He's a 3-time 50-goal scorer, Hart Trophy, scoring title guy. And he gets better come playoff time. So that hopefully 2 days of rest will have him at his best, because we saw tonight that there is pushback in the Vancouver Canucks.
Good stuff, Rob.
Sounds good, Bob.
All right, the smart play of the night brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. Zach Hyman, a pair of goals. He was smart enough to put the puck on the net, but then the Oilers stopped shooting for 23 minutes. The Edmonton Oilers, who led the NHL in shots on goal per game, they didn't get anything to a goal. The Canucks just buttoned it down, and Edmonton, I don't even know how to describe what we saw tonight. Give the Canucks credit, and now the Canucks have belief yet again. They already should have belief. They went 4-0 against Edmonton in the regular season. They rallied from a 4-1 deficit. This is the Rogers Postgame Show, Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Out-of-town scoreboard, Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The Florida Panthers even their series 1-1 against the Boston Bruins. Blew them out 6-1 down in Florida. Series returns to Boston, again tied 1-1. Tomorrow, Rangers up 2-0 in Carolina for Game 3. And Colorado, Game 2 in Dallas after a come-from-behind 4-3 overtime victory. Here, the Oilers, they blew a game. They're up 4-1. Final 3 minutes of period number 2, fell asleep on a 4-on-4, and the Canucks worked their way back into a hockey game, ended up pulling off a victory. Lindholm at 17:01. The Canucks got 3 goals from right around the goal. They got 3 goals and Oilers giveaways in their own zone. Edmonton gave this hockey game away. They stopped skating. They stopped moving. And end result, Oilers lose game 1, 5-4. This is Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
There are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years. Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Brought to you by Molson Canadian. Whether it's Canadian Ultra Export or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Third star tonight with a pair of goals. Zach Hyman. Second star tonight, a goal and assist. Nikita Zadorov. First star tonight. I was going to say... Well, he was hitting like Anthony Joshua tonight, but Dakota Joshua had a big-time performance. He's had a great playoffs. He's a pending UFA. It's this simple, folks. The Vancouver Canucks played with greater desperation and did not quit when they were 4-1 down. The Oilers lost Leon Draisaitl for the final 10 minutes of the second period. Edmonton were the best team by a mile in the first period, and the Canucks, after the Oilers made it 4-1, and a lot of nights when a lot of other teams would have quit, they just kept coming and coming and coming. They come from behind. They beat the Oilers 5-4, Game 2, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, puck drop Friday night. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels, along with Cam Moon, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, studio producers, Angie Quinnell at the helm tonight, and Kellen Kennedy, ace engineer, Tyler Green, Bob Stauffer saying so long, everybody, from Vancouver. Oilers lose Game 1, 5-4.
The Rogers Postgame Show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts.
It's
it up, join